Happy New Year! This is Michael with the general reading for January 2021. As many of you are probably quick to notice, we are definitely trying some new things for this new year. Before we get into all of that, however, I just have a quick bit of housekeeping to get through. I am running a solstice sale on my website. All of my services are currently 25% off, so if you're looking for a Reiki session after this crazy year that 2020 has been, or you would just like some personalized guidance for the year ahead, all of my information is in the description box down below. I am running that sale through January 1st at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. I do have some people who are actually waiting to hear back from me. I do apologize and thank you in advance for your patience and understanding, as this is my busiest time of year, not only with the holidays, but just as a tarot reader. There's a lot of people who want to know what 2021 has in store for them. So if you are one of those people, I recommend booking as soon as possible. I actually do have an online scheduler on my website, which is generally the most efficient way to book with me if those times work for you. I do also plan to do a New Year's live stream with my friend Ellie. Those of you who have been following this channel for a while may know that we actually did that last year together. It's a bit of a New Year's tradition that we do with each other each year. We start off with a reading for the year ahead for each month, and it's just been so much fun, and it was actually really fun to have all of you be a part of that last year. So I am going to be announcing that shortly. There actually should be a poll in my community tab on my YouTube page if you want to vote for a time that would be best for you. We want to get as many people as possible after all. And I should have the, I forget what it's called, like kind of the announcement on my YouTube page if you want to follow that so you can make sure you don't miss it. That should be up shortly as well. Now, to address the elephant in the room, I have changed the format of my videos, and I plan to do that for the foreseeable future. I'm uploading all 12 of the general readings as one video, so if you're wondering where are the general readings, you're at the right place. I have timestamps in the description box down below for each of the 12 signs. I've just decided that this is the most efficient format for me moving forward, especially as I'm looking to add a variety of content to my channel, talking about astrology, tarot, any sort of spiritual or psychic topic really that you may be interested in. I've had so many people ask me through my time on YouTube how I learned about astrology, how I learned to read tarot, and I would love to share the knowledge I have gained along my journey with all of you, maybe add some new perspectives to what you already know about astrology or spirituality. And I think it'll just be a great way to introduce all of you to these new concepts, to these new videos. I'm really, really excited to do it, so I hope you're all looking forward to that as well. However, I am always taking your feedback into consideration, so if I do hear enough people asking to go back to the original format where I upload 12 separate videos for each zodiac sign, I will certainly consider that, but I do feel like this would be the most efficient way for us moving forward. And I hope that you enjoy this new phase of the journey that we are on together. And I want to thank all of you who are giving this a fair chance. And for those of you who are wondering, I do use Western or tropical astrology in all of my videos here on YouTube. I pretty much get asked this question every single time that I upload or post something on social media. And that's not to say that I think one system is inherently better or superior than the other. I'm not trying to start a debate here. I've just found that tropical astrology is the one that works best with my own intuition. It also gives me the clearest insights for myself and for my clients and the world at large. If you do feel so compelled, you are more than welcome to use your Vedic or sidereal sign when you're choosing the reading that is right for you. Ultimately, what is most important is that you listen to your own intuition. You may actually find that you feel drawn to a video that you have no placements in or no planets in, and that's totally okay. That may just be the sign that is meant to be for you this month. That might be just the energy you are embodying. There might be a message in that video for you that you're supposed to hear. I do recommend, however, that you check out your rising or ascendant video just to hear about the astrology. That's probably the one that's going to be the most resonant for you. If you don't know what your rising or ascendant sign is, you are also more than welcome to check out your sun sign. I do, however, have a natal chart calculator in the description box down below if you would like a quick reminder or to learn more about your astrological placements. And without further ado, we're going to dive into the astrology report for January 2021, and then we will have each of the zodiac readings. All of this is time-stamped down below. So let's get started. Before we get into the individual readings for each sign, I just want to go over the basic astrology for what is going to be happening in January 2021. I actually do have my list right in front of me, so I will just start off by reading those off. I'm going to be glancing over here just so you don't feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm not staring off into the ethers here either. We do have Mars entering the sign of Taurus. That's going to be happening on January 6th. This is going to be presenting a lot of problems, but also kind of the perseverance to overcome things. Overcome is actually a word I use to describe the energy for this month overall. And I know it's kind of this weighty word because it implies conflict, but it is also the sense of being triumphant over these obstacles or over this opposition that we're going to be facing. I did talk quite a bit about this for the astrology blog, which is linked down below. If you want kind of a more comprehensive look at this, I'm kind of just going over the meat for this part of the video. We do have our first T-square on the 7th, and this is kind of adding to that conflict that I was talking about with Mars entering the sign of Taurus. There is really going to be a lot of power struggle this month, and a lot of people who are being very stubborn. And it's going to be really hard to change people's minds, but it's also going to give us kind of the lift that we need to persevere. And it's really important that you take stock of what matters most to you. Taurus is often associated with financial or monetary value, but it is also connected to our ethics and morals and the things that we personally value. And when you know what you personally value, you're much less likely to get into kind of fruitless power struggles or conflicts that really don't take you anywhere. You know what needs to be done. You're willing to compromise in order to achieve those goals or to achieve those ends. So I highly recommend that people really take stock at the start of this month. What is most important to me? What is worth persevering on versus what is kind of worth letting go of? There is also going to be a really big need for innovation. This is going to actually be all throughout 2021 with all of this Aquarian energy, with Jupiter and Saturn both transiting the sign of Aquarius. We just had that great conjunction. And, you know, people are really going to be talking about going back to normal. We've heard this narrative a lot, but the people who are really going to be rewarded in 2021 are the ones who are willing to innovate, to be ingenious, to come up with new solutions and new approaches. And, you know, here we are trying this new format here on YouTube. It might be time to mix things up. Maybe you're not feeling called to make changes to your overall plans, but just the way that you're executing them. It's really going to depend on your specific natal chart and where Jupiter and Saturn are currently transiting. I do have a natal chart calculator in the description box down below that actually does include transits as well. So really pay attention to where Jupiter and Saturn are in your houses. I will be talking about that for each of these zodiac readings as well when we're pulling tarot cards. But it's just really good to know specifically where it falls for you, and especially if you have any planets that are going to be affected by these transits as well in your own birth chart. We do have Venus entering the sign of Capricorn on the 8th, as well as Mercury entering the sign of Aquarius. And again, there's a lot of focus on innovation, maybe changing the ways that you're making money, changing the ways that you value things or the plans that you're making. There's a lot of adjustment that's going to be happening throughout this month and again throughout this year. I likened 2021 to like this chess game. You're making a move, then the other person will be making a move, and then you kind of have to adjust your strategy accordingly. So it's going to kind of be this dance. We do also have a new moon in Capricorn on the 13th. That is a great time to set intentions or make long-term plans for yourself, set long-term goals. New moons are great times to manifest things, but when it's in an earth sign like Capricorn especially, it can take some time. So don't feel defeated if you don't have your manifestations come true right away. We do also have Uranus stationing direct in Taurus on January 14th, so the day after. Again, changing our values, changing the way we make money, financial shifts. These are all things that could be happening for the collective. We do have the sun entering Aquarius on the 19th, and that's really going to swing us fully into this Aquarian energy where there's a lot of need for innovation. I do feel like with the full moon on the 28th specifically, there could be this tension between trying new things. There could be a lot of ego wounds that are coming up. And that's because we actually have the second T-square of the month with this full moon in Leo. There's a lot of drama, and there's things that may have been festering for quite some time. It's also interesting because January really is a month of shifts in power, and it's interesting that we have an inauguration in the US on the 20th. That's actually when, what is happening that day? Mars conjuncts Uranus, so there might be some risky situations or some some crazy stuff might be happening, to be honest with you. And I don't think with all this energy we have too much to worry about. The planets that are going through Aquarius right now are really playing a strong hand in new systems, new forms of government, new leaders, new figures, new ways of being. And even if there's this resistance that we encounter that could be kind of scary and causing all sorts of financial problems with this Taurian energy and influence, I do feel like ultimately we will be seeing shifts. There's not going to be things that are going to last if it's trying to uphold the powers that are. And I think we're going to be in for a bit of a crazy month, especially since we have Mercury going retrograde right at the end of February. While that is more, or at the end of January, while that is more for February's video, we are going to be in that pre-shadow phase. So just beware of miscommunications and misinformation especially. We currently have the North Node in Gemini, so that's kind of making the next year really prone to all of this misinformation and these different ideas that may or may not be accurate. And we've definitely been in this energy already throughout 2020. So just some things to keep in mind. And I would also kind of recommend that people back up files and make sure all of their information is secure online, because I do feel like technology is going to be a big theme for this year as well. We're going to continue seeing cyber attacks. There's going to be a greater chance of hacking and, just things going wrong with technology. So make sure that all of your things are backed up, make sure everything is secure, and you will thank yourself later, I can assure you. And that's pretty much all I have for the astrology for January 2021. I will be going into each of the zodiac signs now. So again, you can peek at the timestamps down below and jump straight ahead to your sun sign, moon sign, Venus sign, or rising sign, whichever one you feel called to. And we'll kind of take a deeper look at how all of these aspects and transits are going to be affecting you specifically. Hey Aries, this is Michael with your general reading for January 2021. Whether you're watching this as an Aries sun, moon, rising, or Venus, maybe cross-watching for somebody else, or maybe you just felt drawn to this video, we're going to be taking a look at what the tarot has to say about this month, as well as taking a closer look at the astrology. Those of you who listened to the first part of this video, you may know that I was talking a lot about Mars. And it's interesting because Aries, Mars is your ruling planet. So whatever Mars is doing in the sky is really going to be affecting you quite personally. Mars has actually really been showing up for you in your first house, because Mars has been in your sign for most of 2020 actually. And this is really, really interesting. You've been getting a kind of a bit of an energy boost. And I think now you're going to be putting some plans into action. Now that you know what you care about, what's important to you, you might be feeling like you need to make some changes to career especially. And now you're kind of social networking as well. Maybe reaching out to people you know, asking if someone has any career opportunities, or you might be networking, trying to branch out for your own business. That's because we have all this energy now entering into the sign of Aquarius, your 11th house, your house of networking, your house of friendships. There's a big emphasis on that, as well as your dreams. Some of you have really been reconsidering your dreams and really trying to figure out what dreams are actually important to you versus which ones are worth letting go of, or which ones you should be letting go of, I should say. And we do have Neptune in the 12th house for you. In Pisces, there is a lot of intuition that you have available to you right now, but you might not have a very clear sense of what exactly you should be doing or how you should be moving forward. And even throughout December, we had Mercury going through the sign of Sagittarius. There was a lot of overall kind of vague ideas and plans that we were making. I do feel like, Aries, this is going to be a month for you to get really specific with your plans. Looking at the cards that have fallen out for you so far, you do actually have the Lovers, the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. So we have two nines here. Interesting. You really could be completing a cycle here. You're ending something. You might be ending a job or ending a relationship for some of you with this Lovers card, and you're really being focused on what it is that's going to make you happy, on what's going to sustain you in the long term. But there's a bit of anxiety or confusion about this with the Nine of Swords. And the way that you're supposed to navigate this confusion is really figure out, what is it that I want? This Nine of Cups is almost showing up as a bit of advice for you. And again, with Mercury entering the sign of Aquarius, I think it is really helpful for you to talk to people if you're feeling confused or if you're feeling anxious or depressed. Especially if you're having difficulties in your love life with the Lovers card here. There could also be a Gemini individual or someone with heavy Gemini placements who is kind of helping you sort through this anxiety, or maybe bringing the anxiety to you. But it's really important that you stay focused on your goals. You are manifesting something this month. And there could even be a wish coming true. Some of you might actually be manifesting a new relationship or a new partnership, or someone who comes into your life and is able to be a partner to you in some way. That might not be romantic. This person could be someone you brainstorm with. This person could be someone who is helping you move forward in your life in some way. But there's still this Nine of Swords. You had this person come in, this wish come true, but you're still anxious about it. And you might feel like you may need to be making a choice here as well with the Lovers card. This sometimes symbolizes making a long-term commitment. And even though it feels exciting to you, there's a bit of anxiety as well. So let's take a closer look. Where is all of this energy going? And then we'll pull some animal cards for you as well. New abundance, new success coming your way with the Ace of Pentacles. Love, love, love to see that. And the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh. Yeah, some unexpected abundance perhaps. Or a big shift suddenly happening in your finances. And that's really not surprising to see. We have Mars and Uranus in your second house in the sign Taurus, really shaking things up. And they are playing a big... They are playing a big hand this month. I will say that. They're very strong energies this month. There's a big focus on you financially and kind of just where you're committing your energy or putting your energy into, or who you're putting your energy into, what relationships you're focused on, and you might be reevaluating some things. But honestly, Aries, I feel like there's a lot of new beginnings that are going to be happening for you in January, or a lot of signs of new beginnings in the months ahead. And there could be a new relationship that ends up being very stable for you. There could also just be this financial boon that you are experiencing towards the end of the month, which is nice to hear and see, because that's really not going to be the case for everybody. I have to be honest. I do feel like financially there is going to be a bit of a strain this month. Interesting, the Six of Coins here, or the Six of Pentacles. There is someone coming in to help you, or there is money that's coming in. And don't be afraid to ask for help. There is also this Sagittarian energy with the Wheel of Fortune. This could just be you having a stroke of luck. But I do feel like financially there is this really big boon for you. And if it's not coming through a person, it's somehow reaching you in another way. And it's like the universe is rewarding you. And, you know, again, I know there's a lot of financial concerns that people are having right now. So I'm not surprised to see this show up in a general reading. But I do feel like, Aries, for whatever reason, the finances, the logistics are going to sort themselves out. What's important is that you're committed to doing something that you love. And that you're really following your heart here. And you might feel a lot of anxiety because you don't know how far that's going to take you or if that's going to be worthwhile. But I feel like whatever it is that you're considering for the month of January, there's something that you really should continue forward with. You're probably going to be seeing some pretty fast manifestations. You'll know pretty quickly if the universe is trying to guide you or steer you in a specific direction. And with the conjunction that we had last month in your 11th house in Aquarius between Jupiter and Saturn, the great conjunction, there is a lot of support coming in from the universe for you right now, because the 11th house also represents universal support as well. So there's a big blessing here. What is the animal wisdom? The black egg. Getting in touch with your truth, Aries. And again, I think of manifestation with this card because the black egg actually presides over the throat chakra, or Vishuddha, which represents, or which translates as especially pure. And when we are really in our throat chakra, when we really open our throat chakra, it's not just that we are speaking our truth, it's that the things we say become true. So you might be telling yourself all these stories about your life, about your relationships, about your finances, that is just making you create these patterns over and over again. So be very mindful of the stories that you're telling yourself, and it's really important to work with affirmations this month as well. You may want to look on YouTube and see, you know, manifestations or affirmations for financial success, for stable relationships, because I feel like the words that you speak and put out there, Aries, are really going to affect you this month and the rest of this year. So really pay attention to the stories you're telling yourself and really work with this throat chakra. Speak your desires into existence and watch them come true. This feels really, really exciting, actually. And those are all the messages I have for you for January. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. I do appreciate that support. It does help this channel grow and allows me to keep putting out these messages. Again, all of my links are in the description box down below. I do have the sale on my website until January 1st. If you're looking for a reading or Reiki session, those are currently 25% off. And it can be just a nice way to start off this new year. And I will see you all in next month's video. Take care, Aries. Have a happy new year and happy January. Hey Taurus, this is your reading for January 2021. Let's take a look and see what we have in store for you here. As I'm kind of shuffling these cards, I just want to give a brief overview of what's been going on for you, kind of leading into the month of January, because we had a lot of things happen in December. We had the great conjunction in the sign of Aquarius between Jupiter and Saturn that happened right on winter solstice, December 21st, and that really brought a lot of focus and perhaps change to your career, and this is energy that could really be affecting you for quite some time. So maybe nothing has really changed or shifted for you quite yet by the time you're watching this video, but with a conjunction this large, you could really be feeling it, you know, several months from now, actually. There was just something about that time where something began to shift, something began moving for you. And you have a lot of energy that you're actually going to be experiencing for you yourself this month as well. You do have Mars entering your sign on the 6th. That's going to give you a lot of drive, a lot of energy. Some of you are going to be feeling really, really determined, and you might even be feeling some snags or some confrontations in your life as well. But you're honestly a powerhouse this month, Taurus. We do also have a full moon on December 30th. That's kind of starting off the theme for this month. And that's going to be in the sign of Cancer, which for you is actually your 3rd house, your house of communication, your house of, you know, community, of ideas, of learning things. You might be kind of revisiting the way that you come across, or the way that you express yourself, or the ideas that you are learning. And it really does represent the mind overall, the third house. So there could be some revelations that are coming to you. Your mind might be very, very powerful as well in the first part of this month. We already have several cards here on the table. We have the Four of Swords, the Magician, and then we actually have the Hermit, the Two of Wands, and the Nine of Swords all coming out together here. I am interested in this Magician and Hermit card. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo energy as well. There could be a Virgo in your life who you are communicating with, or working with working on something with. There we go. But there's this sense of anxiety and uncertainty about the future. And it's interesting because I think you have a plan here, Taurus. You have the Four of Swords. You're waiting for something. And when I see this specific Four of Swords in this Wild Unknown deck, a lot of people get this very ominous feeling. And I don't actually interpret it like that. A lot of people see this as a lamb that is about to be slaughtered, with these swords kind of hanging overhead. Honestly, the way that I sort of see this lamb is very aware, with the third eye lit up here, of what is coming towards it. And it's almost like if it stays perfectly still, it will be fine. It's going to dodge all of these swords. So you know what's coming. You know you're in the right place at the right time. There's this crazy level of synchronicity that is happening for you this month, Taurus. And maybe you're taking some time to heal. And then around the 6th of this month, there's all of a sudden this burst of energy. With the Magician card here, this is often a card of manifestation, of all of the elements being in their place. You have everything on the table here for you, all of these parts, and now your job is really to kind of put things together. You actually have quite a bit of energy available to you, Taurus, and you may have all of these different parts of your life that you're kind of waiting to put into motion. But I feel like you have the plan. You know what you need to do. You're going to have a strong intuitive sense of when to move forward. You do have the Hermit card and the Two of Wands with the Nine of Swords here all together. This is interesting because it is kind of like a reflective energy. You might be feeling a bit nervous. You're trying to figure out which plan to take. I do feel like some of you are getting a lot of downloads, and you might be having really intense dreams as well. I'm kind of getting that intuitively, and from the Four of Swords and the Nine of Swords, you could be receiving some information through your dreams. So that's something to just kind of keep in mind as well, as we're kind of moving throughout this month. We do have a full moon in Aquarius. Again, kind of your long-term goals, your career, what you aspire to in this world. There is going to be some sort of culmination there for you, and I think you're either going to be moving towards something, moving towards your goals, or you're going to be setting off, starting new goals, figuring out what it is that you want to do next. I do feel like it's important for you to take time for yourself. And I'm wondering, kind of knowing what the energy is going to be like this month, you may need to pull your energy back from other people if there's a lot of conflict or tension or just a lot of different ideas or plans. You kind of need to be like this Hermit card here and look within you. Find this light within you. Because there could be someone with this Magician energy who is trying to give you everything you ever wanted, or it seems like they're doing that, and it's almost too good to be true for those of you I'm connecting with. And Taurus, I think you'll know that you shouldn't necessarily be taking the fast route or whatever the easy fix is. Something is going to take some time here. I feel like there's a lot that you are manifesting for the future. And it's important for you to focus on that and don't get distracted. Don't externalize your power. You do have the Ace of Swords coming out as well for you. This is looking more into the second half of the month now. There is a new idea or a new plan. This kind of sudden revelation, this flash of lightning, where everything is becoming clear, and it might only feel like it's for a moment. And again, that's making me think of this dream thing. Pay attention to your dreams, Taurus. Your dreams are giving you a lot of messages this month. The Five of Swords as well. Yeah, this is interesting. This is kind of this energy of the power struggle, of needing to walk away from a situation that would just be a lost battle. The reason I say this is with Mars in your sign, there's going to be a lot of people who are really holding their ground. There's going to be a lot of stubbornness. You might actually be experiencing this yourself. You might be trying to change the situation or people around you. And honestly, Taurus, you know that you need to put your focus elsewhere. Look elsewhere. Don't go to these situations or relationships for your happiness or fulfillment. You know you're supposed to be walking away and moving towards something else, and I think that's going to be very clear for you with this Ace of Swords, especially towards the second half of the month. I think there's going to be a lot that's going to be revealed to you with this full moon in Aquarius. And I'm trying to think, we do also have Uranus stationing direct in your sign on the 14th as well. So right towards the middle of the month, you're going to feel all of a sudden like you need to change things for yourself. And you need to, prioritize you first. And maybe that's why you're just pulling your energy back from other people. You're really bringing the focus back on you. And it's not so much about trying to convince people of your way or not. It's almost like taking the path of least resistance here. And for a lot of you, it's like you distancing or pulling your energy out of a situation or relationship, at least for now. So let's pull one more card here, and then we'll look at the animal wisdom for you as well. I see. You are feeling really stuck with the Ace of Swords here. And maybe that's why you're feeling hesitant of moving forward. Maybe that's what this anxiety is about. Maybe you've been going through a transition all throughout 2020. You've kind of been in your cocoon here. You've been isolated. You've been in the hermit energy. And you feel that this transformation has taken place within you. And now it's just a matter of spreading your wings. The problem is you might not recognize that you are already able to fly away from the situation that you're in. It might feel really uncomfortable. And honestly, you have a lot of swords on the table here, Gemini. Taurus. You have a lot of swords here, which tells me you might be really stuck in your mind. There could be a Gemini energy who's in your life, though, with this Magician card as well. Maybe there's a Gemini you're feeling kind of stuck with or stuck on. And it feels like they're holding you back. Could be that Virgo energy again as well, but honestly, there's so much focus on you this month, Taurus. I almost feel like some of you are going to be revealing something about yourself. I almost get that energy of kind of like coming out of the closet. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're coming out as a specific orientation or gender identity. This could be about you just making a proclamation of who you are and sharing that with the people around you. And there might be people who disagree with you, and those could be the people you're supposed to be walking away from. I am getting this coming out metaphor, and I feel like that actually came out for one sign last month, for December 2020. I feel like that came up in one of the general readings as well, so that's interesting. It might have been you, it might have been Gemini. So if you have Gemini placements, maybe there's something in that reading for you as well. Let's kind of clarify all of this a little bit more, and then we'll pull an animal card here for you. Page of Swords. Some of you could be dealing with a young or young at heart air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But I really feel like this is a lot of new ideas. It's like all of a sudden this new information is shifting things for you. And I apologize, it's a new moon in Capricorn on the 13th. This is new ideas coming in for you. That makes more sense. There is a lot of Aquarian energy this month, obviously, being in the sign of Aquarius. So there could be this thing with social networking, still talking about your career. But to be honest with you, with this new moon that we have towards the middle of the month in Capricorn, there really is new ideas. You might be wanting to relocate or physically go somewhere else. You do have the Three of Pentacles with the Son of Swords or Knight of Swords and the Empress, again, all coming out together. This is a general reading, so this isn't going to apply for all of you. But again, I get the sense you could be working with an air sign, specifically a Gemini. Could also be Libra. And there's something where it could lead you to a lot of success and a lot of abundance. But you might be feeling stuck this month. There's a mountain to climb, and you need to work together with people. This isn't just a battle of wills, okay? There needs to be something constructive, and if you can't work together, maybe you need to recollect yourself, gather your thoughts, come back to the situation, and really approach this from more of a solution-oriented perspective. And you might be the one doing this work. So that's interesting. Let's pull one more card for you. Let's pull an animal card here. Get a little bit more of advice. Kind of the energy you should be embodying this month is a good way I like to think of this card. Crow. Yeah, so you are getting new ideas, and again, it could be coming to you through dreams, through your third eye here with the crow. You are connecting with like-minded people. Crows are often found in flocks, or the murder of crows. I know that sounds a little ominous, but you could be connecting with other people who are spiritual or witchy, so to speak. Connecting with like-minded people who aren't going to judge you as dark. And you need to be able to find these people. Maybe there's other people in your life who don't quite get you. You're kind of misunderstood as this crow energy here, but you should really listen to your intuition and follow that. You could be a messenger for other people. You could be this hermit offering advice to people seeking it out, but it has to be something that they are seeking out this month, Taurus. I think that's something that I'm really supposed to be emphasizing. You're not supposed to be changing anyone's mind. You're just giving them information and they're going to decide for themselves. And the right people you're supposed to be working with are going to come into your life as they are meant to. And that's going to just kind of happen in divine timing. But I feel like for a lot of you, January is going to be a month of finding your people, of, you know, really sorting through your different relationships, the people you're talking to. We do also have Mercury that's going to be going retrograde right at the end of this month, and that's also going to be creating some miscommunications. It's going to really be more affecting February, to be honest, but we will be in that pre-shadow phase for about half the month. We do also have a full moon in Leo that's going to be on the 29th, I believe, and that's going to give that could really be stirring the pot, and some things that have been festering beneath the surface for some time could be coming up as well. There's a lot of drama and expression that is going to be available to the collective at that time, and maybe that's why you're going to kind of be playing this sort of long game and sort of keeping to yourself throughout a lot of this month. Again, don't get caught up in the power struggle. Connect to the people who are right for you, and I think you are on a good track to success, Taurus. I'm very excited to hear in the comment section down below what it is you're working on, who it is you're collaborating with. I do feel like there are going to be people who are going to be coming in to help you with something in your life, and I'm really, really excited to hear about it. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you'd like another some more messages or some greater insight elaborate on something I didn't quite touch on in this specific reading, you're welcome to look at your moon, rising, or Venus sign, or really any other video that calls to you. Just trust your intuition above all else. And I will see you all in next month's video. Take care, Taurus, and have a happy January and, beginning of the new year. I'm really excited for you. Take care. Hey Gemini, this is your reading for January 2021. I want to wish you a happy new year. As I'm shuffling here, I just want to give you some initial impressions based off of the astrology and my intuition. I was actually feeling really strongly that some of you are going to be going through your old possessions, or going through just kind of your old values, but this actually feels like possessions, things you might have held on to, things that were once very personal to you. I think this is really being activated with the full moon in Cancer on the 29th. This is falling into your second house, so it's your house of possessions. It's your house of finance, of things that matter most to you, your values, so to speak. And I feel like there's kind of this nostalgic thing where you're sort of sorting through things, going through your stuff, and there's this emotional thing that's coming up for you. I almost wonder if this is like a situation where there could be like someone who passed away and you're kind of going through their old things. That might be something some of you are doing. It's an energy that's similar to that. There's just a lot of nostalgia that you're starting off this new year with, which is a little bit contradictory and interesting. What do we have for Gemini here? What do we have for Gemini? And this is a really interesting month. There's quite a bit of challenges that we sort of talked about briefly at the start of this video with the aspects and transits. We have Mars entering Taurus. That is going to be on the 6th of January, and that's actually going to be entering into your 12th house, your house of your subconscious. Some of you are really going to be looking through some of these old things and letting stuff go. You're realizing you had all these strange emotional attachments to objects. I don't know why I feel like I need to hone in on that. You're letting certain things go as well. And maybe there's kind of like, for some of you, I'm actually getting this sense of like a separation, and someone may have your possessions, or you may have left your possessions in a family home, your childhood home, and it's almost like you're just letting that go. I do have the 6 of Swords, which kind of talks about leaving the past behind you. So that does seem to be a theme for you for some reason, Gemini. You are moving forward. This is actually kind of the strategy that you should be taking for the first half of this month. There's actually a lot of hardship here that you are walking away from, a lot of challenge, especially with the 5 of Wands. There's going to be a lot of power struggles this month, I think, in the collective, both individually and just for the world at large. And so it's really important that you are picking and choosing your battles. But honestly, Gemini, your energy is very much like this Mother of Pentacles. Perhaps this is another individual in your life, especially an earth sign. So that could be Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. But to be honest, I feel like it's almost like you're nurturing this child, or this inner child inside of yourself, and you're very serene, which is quite unusual, to be honest, with your energy. With Mars going into your 12th house, you might not actually really be feeling the Mars energy very strongly. It could be an energy that's kind of muted for you right now, and instead your motivation is to look within, to spend a lot of time within yourself, or to see things far beneath the surface, really getting to the core of things. And I do feel like you're moving forward as well. With all of this Aquarian energy, this is also touching in on your 9th house, your house of ideas, of philosophies. So this could be a really spiritual time for some of you as well. Some of you may actually be considering moving or traveling to a different part of the world, or maybe you're already in the process of doing that in January, especially the first half of this month. Let's see where all of this is leading. We're going to kind of be looking at the second half of January and beyond. It's just sort of a trajectory of where all of this energy is leading you right now. And then we'll be pulling some animal oracle cards for you towards the end of this too. But I'm curious to see where all of this is leading. Wow, yeah, there's definitely something you're walking away from here with this Eight of Cups. And there could be this sense of loss. You have a lot of activation in your 8th house right now, which is the house of death, transformation, rebirth. I really am getting like a will situation for some of you. That's interesting. Maybe there's some conflict over that as well, or some blockages you're encountering. But I feel like, Gemini, there's really this clear message for you, especially as the month goes on. You are supposed to be moving forward. There's this broken situation that you are supposed to be leaving behind. And it might feel really daunting to move forward. You might not be sure how to even do that. There's kind of this mountain above you. You've been in this valley for so long, you might not know what is next for you. You do actually have the 3 of Wands, however, with the 7 of Swords. Wow, there really is a lot of travel cards here. There is this card of like movement that's happening for some of you. And I almost feel like some of you are sneaking out of a situation, or you're figuring kind of a way to get out of obligations or relationships that are no longer serving you. And you're almost doing this in kind of a sneaky way, which is a little funny. We do have a new moon in Capricorn, and that's going to be really talking again about these endings, about this inheritance, about this kind of what you build with other people as well. I don't know why that's coming through, but that came in as well. You're thinking very much about the long term. You're thinking about who is worth building something with and who you don't quite trust. I'm getting this sense of distrust. There could be lies, there could be deceit. Maybe that's the situation you're leaving behind. You're leaving behind these sorts of games. And you're looking towards the future. And Gemini, wow, your readings have been really, really hard in the previous months. I do remember that, kind of overall. And there's been this theme of moving forward, of moving on. And it seems like now you're actually starting to do that this year. I know I know 2020, I should say, was a really hard year to move forward. There was a lot of pause. And I don't think that we're going to be full steam ahead by any means at this point this year. It's almost like a chess game where you make a move, somebody else makes a move, and then you kind of adjust your strategy accordingly. It's like move, wait. Move, wait. And there is a lot of reassessment in this year. There is a lot of reassessing priorities or shifting in plans. Especially towards the second half of the month, we do actually have a pre-shadow Mercury retrograde that's going to be in the sign of Aquarius. And this could be kind of talking about this deception or this misinformation. I'm actually hearing gossip, and you might be hearing rumors or things that aren't true, specifically on social media. That's coming in as well. Yeah, some of you are really like pulling away. Maybe some of you are actually taking a break from social media. Maybe that's something that's part of a New Year's resolution for you, actually. Interesting. The 6 of Cups. I actually do want to clarify this energy. Why is the 6 of Cups here? The Star. Okay, so there's definitely some healing that you're going to be doing this month. And I feel like it's going to be helping you let go of the past. You may be connecting with someone and kind of having a heart-to-heart with them, but honestly, I'm going to be real. There's energy I don't quite trust in the situation. And I think for you, it's really important for you to get back in touch with your roots, to heal yourself, get in touch with your center, your core. Some of you might be pursuing energy healing this month, seeking that out. I'm getting a very specific message that some of you are actually going home, returning home, or connecting with your home, and you've been far distance or far away from that for some time. You're reconnecting to that. And that becomes kind of a theme for you. Let's pull a couple more clarifiers here, and then we're going to pull some animal cards. The Hermit. Could be Earth sign energy, or Virgo energy, I should say specifically. Someone who is helping you either find your inner truth, connect to your inner light, or you're just going to be doing that for yourself. Maybe someone is actually seeking out advice from you, someone from the past, and you're being the guiding star for this person. But I feel like there's a lot of healing and a lot of meditation that you're going to be doing. The Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. Yeah, there's like something with family. There's some sort of like blockage in your upbringing or your family that's really coming to the surface here this month, which is quite interesting. And again, it does make me wonder if there's like this will situation, or there's just this blockage here. You're taking on a lot of burden. You've done a lot of work for yourself, or for other people, I should say. And now it's kind of time to just focus on you, Gemini, and reprioritize, thinking about your future. You do have something beautiful coming in for you with the Three of Wands and the Star card. I really want you to see these cards and kind of feel this. But honestly, I don't necessarily think it's going to happen for you right at the end of the month. It's almost like you're receiving some sort of good news, or something is finally moving ahead that you've been waiting on. But I get this sense of delay with this good omen or this blessing. There is this thing with abundance that I'm also really liking as well with the 10 of coins, but that might feel like there's some time before that really comes for you. When I look at this specific 10 of coins, we find the 10th pentacle is actually in the center here, which is like that sense of abundance comes from within, which is why people who have all the money in the world will hoard it, because they can't quite fill that void. Meanwhile, there are people who may not have a lot of money, but they have the things that matter. They have a home, they have their family, they have the people that they love. They're able to do the things that they love to do. And that's where their sense of wealth comes from. So that is something to consider. And I feel like when you kind of have that sort of gratitude, that's when this boon comes in. That's when this blessing comes in. Kind of this like law of attraction, like attracts like. You're creating abundance from within. And kind of the animal message you have for you this month is dragonfly. And this is such a Gemini energy. This is really interesting because dragonfly is like your thoughts going back and forth, changes in direction as well. Dragonfly is the master of changing direction. If you've ever seen these things fly, they'll just dart around. And they're often associated with water. So we're kind of thinking between the mind and the heart, the way that our emotions affect our thoughts. Your emotions could be kind of up and down this month. I'm sort of getting that vibe. And you just need to be mindful that if you're in kind of a dark place or you're feeling sort of hopeless or stuck, you're probably not seeing a situation clearly, and it might not be the best time to make a decision. I do feel like there could be someone who's even kind of taking advantage of you and your emotions as well with the Seven of Swords. So really pay attention to details, really pay attention to the ways that people might be trying to manipulate you or get you to kind of sign things or go along with things. But overall, I see that there's this beautiful change in direction. And if you're feeling really stuck in your life, Dragonfly is a great way to kind of change your trajectory or change the energy in your life. And some of you just need to really focus on your breath. Your thoughts might be going really, really quickly this month, which is very Gemini. And those are all the messages I have for you this month. I do hope that this was helpful for you. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. If you'd like greater clarity on something or this video didn't quite resonate with you, you're more than welcome to check out one of the other videos for your moon, rising, or Venus sign, or really whatever video your intuition is drawing you in towards. And I will see you all in next month's video. Take care, Gemini. Have a happy January, and I'm wishing you a beautiful new year ahead of you. Hey Cancer, this is Michael with your general reading for January 2021. I'm very curious to see what cards come out for you. I feel like Spirit really is compelling me right now, however, to share with you that while there have been a lot of lessons for many of you in the realm of relationships, this could be, romantic relationships or partnerships with people you are working on something with. There really is this kind of new beginning or this lightening of the energy for you throughout this year. This is really also going to be kind of connected with the great conjunction that we just had on December 21st on winter solstice between Jupiter and Saturn. These planets are now in the sign of Aquarius. Saturn has moved out of your 7th house, where it has been giving you a lot of lessons, a lot of restrictions, and some of you may feel like you've just been very, very single, or maybe your relationships have just been really, really challenging and you kind of feel like you're alone. That's kind of an energy I'm getting for a lot of you Cancers. You felt very disconnected, and I think that was very, very easy. I don't think we need to really imagine why that was so simple for 2020 with all the isolation and pandemics we were experiencing, or pandemic, we were experiencing the one. But there were a lot of lockdowns, a lot of shutdowns, and people were really kind of forced to be with themselves. And there was a lot of loneliness, I think, that you experienced in the past year. But Spirit is telling me that it's time to kind of open your heart for a lot of you, that there is new energy that's going to be coming in your life for this year. We do have some cards on the table already. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and the Father or King of Pentacles. And we are actually ending off 2020 with a full moon in your sign. And again, whenever you have something in your first house, this is really about the way you present to the world. Some of you are really coming out of your shell. You're revealing yourself to people. That might almost be like full circle to what 2020 was supposed to be for you. You're now coming back into that energy again. We actually started off 2020 with a full moon in your sign. And I feel like there's this stable new beginning with this Ace of Pentacles here, and I'm really being drawn to the core of this card. You have a very strong center and sense of self. And with the Nine of Cups, there's actually quite a bit of happiness that you're going to be coming into, or that you're going to be pursuing. I do feel like there could be a blessing coming your way. This could be financial, and that's why you have this Father of Pentacles. You're feeling very stable, or something is taking off finally. Or this could be involving another person, another perhaps earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. And you're creating something stable with this person, or that they're offering you some stability or something that makes you very happy. When I think of the Ace of Pentacles, I do also think of a gift. You might be receiving a late Christmas present or a holiday present. Someone could be coming in and gifting you something. Or it's more symbolic, it's more energetic or spiritual or emotional or whatever. Whatever sort of gift this is, there's a gift coming for you nonetheless. And I feel like there's something here that's making you very happy. And it's important for you to kind of think long term with the Father of Pentacles. You're planting a seed here, and it might take some time for something to grow. This could be talking about a committed relationship for some of you, but to be honest, I actually do feel like this is also speaking to your own life, your own work situation, your financial situation, finding security inside of yourself, or finding the happiness and stability inside yourself. And that's the thing that actually changes your relationships. You're no longer dependent on other people giving that to you. And that's actually when our relationships tend to be the most fulfilling. When we already have that happiness, when we share in our happiness, as opposed to try and find it in other people. You do have an Ace of Swords. New ideas, information coming in. You do have a new moon in your 7th house right towards the middle of the month. I want to say that's the 13th of January. And that is going to be a good time for you to manifest a relationship, or to heal in relationships, heal your relationship patterns, and bring in that new energy. Or maybe finding a spark in an existing relationship. For those of you who aren't really interested in romance or looking for a partner, this could also be talking about a business partner or someone you're working on something with, building something with somebody else. That is also the 7th house. Wow. Ace of Cups. So you have 3 aces so far, Cancer. This is very new energy. And again, there could be this new love who's coming into your life, this new person, someone expressing interest in you. Could be from an earth sign. Some of you are getting kind of a message from somebody with the Ace of Swords here. Or your intuition is giving you information about somebody else. Kind of telling you, hey, this person likes you. Or you could be dreaming about them. Interesting that I say that right when the 4 of Swords comes out, which is often a card of rest, of sleep, of dreaming. You're receiving a lot of spiritual downloads. And I do feel like there is this pause that you're taking. I just took a pause. You know these good things are coming for you. You sense it, you feel it. Something is shifting for you in 2021. And I feel like, honestly, Cancer, something has healed for you. You're healing something that you've been struggling with maybe all throughout 2020. It was a hard year. And now you are moving forward, and there's so much new energy here. The 2 of Cups. See, there really is a relationship that I'm supposed to be talking about here for some of you. Maybe this is a new person. I actually do feel like for a lot of you, this is a brand new person. There's so much new energy here. Or you're just renewing a bond with somebody. You're finding that spark again. Or if there's been some sort of challenge, or it's just been really hard connecting between the two of you, something is finally shifting. Or you're committing to something that you love. If this is not talking about another person, but I really actually think for a lot of you it is. And you do have the Justice card. You know, an equal relationship. You get what you put in. There's equal give and take here. This is a Libra energy as well. So maybe there's a Libra person coming into your life. And I feel like there's a lot of harmony here as well. I feel like some of you are finally going through finalizing a divorce. And obviously this is a general reading that's not going to apply to most of you. But I feel like there's more than one of you who have been going through a divorce and something hasn't been finalized, or you haven't been able to move forward, and now you're able to do that, and it's like you're open to this new love. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like there is a relationship that's coming in for you, if not in January, shortly after. You sense it coming, you feel it coming. And it's all this new energy for you. What is the animal message we have for Cancer? Cheetah. Yeah, you're just radiating from within. You're going towards something that makes you happy. You're following your purpose. And that's actually the thing that brings in the right person for you. Maybe in the past you kind of tried and focused on your relationships, or you tried and fit in somebody else's life. But now, Cancer, there's this commitment to you. You have this solid center. You know what matters to you most, and you're moving forward. You're moving towards these things. You're creating a beautiful life for yourself, and that's what's drawing this person towards you. And something could actually be happening very, very fast as well. You might not have anyone on the radar right now. There might not be anyone who has your eye, and all of a sudden somebody comes in and it's like, boom, instant chemistry. Something is happening very, very quickly. And that could be happening in January, or it could be happening afterwards. But that's really interesting. That's very, very interesting. And even at the bottom of the deck here, we do have Hawk, which is telling me that there is a change coming for you. A shift in perspective, seeing things from a higher angle, sudden changes. All really, really exciting stuff. You're going to have to let me know in the comment section down below, what is this new beginning? What is this new found center that you've discovered, this newfound happiness? Because I think it's bringing a lot more happiness towards you. You're like a magnet this month, Cancer. I do hope that this reading was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. I do appreciate that. If you are interested in some other messages, or if this video didn't quite resonate with you, you're more than welcome to look at some of the other readings. All of those timestamps are down below, and I will see you in next month's video, Cancer. Take care and have a happy January. Hey Leo, this is Michael with your reading for January 2021. As I'm shuffling here, we're just going to kind of go over the astrology for the month of January. We're going to first look at the first half of the month and then kind of go from there. We are ending off December with a full moon in Cancer, which is actually your 12th house. This is the house of your subconscious, your dreams, your spirituality. So those could all be really big themes for you as you are coming into this new year. It's kind of setting the tone already. And being in the sign of Cancer, we're kind of starting off the new year with a bit of nostalgia, which is interesting. I do feel like for a lot of you, you're also becoming aware aware of subconscious patterns that have been holding you back, either in your relationships, in your life path, with your career, or anything really. It just feels like that's kind of the theme for you coming into this month. And maybe you're trying to change some habits for yourself as well, you know, creating new resolutions, setting new intentions for this new year. The first card that actually came out for you was this Eight of Swords, which is this card of being stuck. But Leo, you've already transformed. You've been in the cocoon, this transformation process for so long, you've actually lost track of how much you've changed and transformed. You're actually able to fly free from the things that no longer serve you, from this very constraining energy. But you have to first spread your wings. You might be realizing this just as the new year begins with that full moon in Cancer energy. You're seeing new things. You're making these new connections. There could be dreams that are coming to you that are just so beautiful and vivid, and you're changing patterns in your life as a result of it. We also have the Son of Cups, which is a very dreamy energy, following your intuition, following your heart. And it's interesting, I just made myself a cup of tea, and the tag here is use your head to follow your heart, if you can see that. Or use your head to live with your heart. And I think before you were very stuck in, oh, this is just the way things have to be. Or maybe you were just so emotional and whimsical with something, dreamlike with something, that you were actually holding yourself back without even realizing it. There was that sabotage again. Oops, that's too many. There was this sabotage that you recognized, and now you're healing from it. Or you're trying to resolve it. With all of this Capricorn energy that we are in, there is actually a lot of focus for you in your routines, in your 6th house. So again, very appropriate to the new year. I think you have some staying power here. There's a lot of shifts that you're going to be making. As these planets kind of move over Pluto throughout the month, in the sign of Capricorn, you're going to be going through a lot of transformation. And that's going to be reflected by you adopting better habits. Maybe cutting some habits out of your life with the Five of Swords, or walking away from relationships, situations, or people that aren't good for you, that make you feel stuck. You are finding a way out of this kind of trapped or stagnant energy. And there could be a water sign in your life as well, a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. This could be someone who's helping you do this. This could also be a person coming into your life. Very dreamy and romantic, actually. And they've kind of entered your scope, so to speak, and it's helping you move forward. But to be honest with you, Leo, I really feel like for most of you, this is about you changing things up for yourself, taking better care of yourself, taking care of your body. And you do actually have a full moon in your sign towards the end of the month. You do have quite a bit of power. We're going to just look at the second half of the month now. There really will be quite a bit of an energy boost for you. And some of you might be, this might be when you kind of spread your wings with this Eight of Swords. This might be you kind of coming out of the closet, so to speak. And I don't necessarily mean literally. It's just like you making some sort of proclamation, this is who I am. You've been doing a lot of reflection and inner work throughout the month. Especially in the first half of the month, in that lunation cycle, after the Cancer full moon, all the way towards the middle of the month. Then we have a new moon in Capricorn. And again, that's a great time for you to really commit to these new routines. To commit to getting healthy. There's a reason so much of our spirituality and spiritual practice has to do with our daily routines. It's kind of the whole wellness field, right? It's you taking care of yourself through diet, through better sleep. All of that is going to help you grow spiritually. And after all of this journeying, all this hard work, this Nine of Wands energy, it's followed up with the Magician. You are manifesting something. You're making some really powerful changes. You might feel pretty drained this month. I'm not going to lie. If you're feeling like you need to sleep a lot, it's actually because you're downloading a lot. Your rest isn't necessarily replenishing. You're taking in a lot of information through your subconscious. You're doing a lot of processing, so you might feel a little worn down. But it's all giving you all of this power and this energy. This Magician energy is actually reminding me of this full moon that we have in your sign. And it's interesting. There's a pretty nasty T-square that's happening for you as well, for all of us really, but it's going to be involving this this full moon. And for some of you, the way this is kind of manifesting is like you're unapologetically you. And there might be people who try to beat you down. There might be people who try and tell you that you're wrong, or you don't know who you are, or try and change you in some way. There's this Mother of Cups individual, someone who could be a little meddling. Again, water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But you're really coming into yourself in a very strong way. Even though T-squares are kind of hard lessons, there's always the room for growth. It's this energy of overcoming something. We kind of talked about that earlier in the astrology report at the start of this video, and I also talked about that in the blog for the month. You're overcoming something. You're really standing very strongly in your power, and you're quite intuitive. You're quite psychic yourself, I would say, with this Mother of Cups. You do have, wow, you do have the Tower, the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. Whoa, okay. A few things coming to mind. Some of you are really walking away from a situation. I almost feel like you are this tower. You're causing this big shift, this big thing. And you're stepping away. You're moving towards something beautiful and bright. And it might be hard. You might not know how exactly to do this, or how this is all going to play out. But your intuition is telling you you need to move forward. And again, with this Tower energy, it's like downloads. It's like your crown is being blown open. You're receiving a lot of spiritual information this month, a lot of psychic and intuitive information. And some of you are just walking away from a broken situation. Maybe you've been in the process of this. Maybe this isn't even happening in January, but you're finally moving forward. And I see with this Nine of Wands, it's been a really long journey for you, Leo. Whatever it is that you're progressing towards, or what you've been trying to heal from, and I feel like you're finally doing it this month. You're finally moving forward, and that's really, really good to see. It feels like there was some nasty energy. And again, there's so many cards that are talking about leaving things behind, walking away from old habits, old relationships, old ways of being, and getting yourself unstuck. That has been a huge theme for you for this month of January. Let's actually pull an animal card here and get some guidance for you, kind of an energy for you to embody, or an energy you can call on. What is the animal wisdom for Leo? Show me clearly. The owl. Beautiful. Yeah, this is finding light in darkness. Because owl has these highly evolved senses. It's nocturnal. It's able to see the abundance and the bounty in situations where other people cannot. So owl is someone who can really help you see in this dark realm, see in your subconscious, see intuitively. Your intuition is very, very strong. You're getting unstuck. And when I see owl, it also tells me there is a blessing that's on the way as well. This one actually does feel spiritual. Even though you do have this energy of you're finally manifesting something, you're finally breaking down the walls that have kept you constrained. That's a really big theme. There may be some sort of material blessing that comes for you, but honestly it feels spiritual or emotional. That is that boon that you're experiencing towards the end of this month, and it feels really, really good, actually. I know when people see the tower, they tend to like panic or lock up, but I get this overall positive energy. So this is either a situation that's already happened, or you're breaking down walls. I feel like you're the one creating this big shift. And again, it feels really, really positive. I'm really happy to see this, Leo, because it feels like you've been stuck, or there's just been a lot of heavy energy and you're finally leaving that behind you, and you're going towards something brighter. Brighter horizons. And those are all the messages I have for you this month, Leo. I do hope that this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are these changes that you are making? It seems very, very positive for you. If you'd like greater clarity on something that I didn't quite address in this part of the video, you're welcome to look at the other signs. Maybe there's something for you there if you know what your moon, rising, or Venus sign is. Or you can just pick a video that your intuition feels drawn to. Just trust the messages so long as they resonate. And you know, even if this video didn't quite resonate, maybe your message is in another reading, so you're welcome to look through all of those. And again, I do have all of my information down below. If you'd like a personal reading with me, I do still have the sale running until January 1st if you want 25% off a reading or Reiki session with me. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Leo, and have a happy January. Hey Virgo, this is Michael with your January 2021 reading. I want to wish you a happy new year. As I'm shuffling here, I'm just going to be sharing some of my kind of intuitions that I was getting for you before I hit record, and also talking about the astrology coming into this month, the first half of January. We really did have a hard year last year. And honestly, Virgo, I'm a Virgo sun myself. The past few years, we've really been quite hard at work for a lot of us. We've had Saturn in our 5th house, and our 5th house rules over our pleasure. It's our fun. It's our creativity. And maybe there's been a lot of creative blocks for my Virgos. And it's ironic because we had Jupiter in our 5th house all throughout 2020. Or we were kind of supposed to have this sort of new beginning. And I feel like a lot of my Virgo clients, even at the start of the year, they were telling me, you know, oh, this is going to be my year. And kind of knowing the astrology, having a strong intuition about 2020, I knew to be a little skeptical with that. But I think just with the degree of everything that happened, there were so many restrictions for everybody. It was really hard to tap into that joy. And that's kind of been a lesson for you, Virgo. And I actually feel like January is you finally getting back in touch with your happiness, the things that give you passion and creativity. That's going to be a big theme for you this month, especially when we have a new moon in the sign of Capricorn on the 13th of January. That's your 5th house again, giving you all this new creative energy, this new spark, this new passion. And I think at the beginning of this month, with this Cancer full moon, there's a lot of focus on friendship and community. And you actually have the 3 of Cups coming out here first, so that's interesting. And some of you, it's like you're finally opening up to your social network, or somebody around you is opening up, or something very decisive is happening. You're deciding to walk away, or something like that. But to be honest, I actually feel like it's a new foundation that's being laid with your social network, with your friends. Or maybe you're coming into new friendships. Again, it feels like a productive thing. Something is coming out of this. You have the Judgment card here. This calling. This is this decisive moment. This revelation. And the 4 of Wands, which is building something, a celebration. There really is this sense of celebration for you. And it's interesting, this isn't necessarily a social month for the collective, but I feel like, Virgo, you're busy. You're connecting with a lot of people through whatever ways we can. Even in lockdown, or even in the situations we find ourselves in, there's this bustling energy around you. And this is really specific, but I feel like with this Sagittarian energy we were in all throughout December, maybe you were talking about moving in with friends or moving closer to your friends. Some of you are going to be doing that. That is a message that I'm getting. Again, general reading. It's not going to apply to all of you. But there's this beautiful celebration. Let's take a closer look at all of this. Let's kind of clarify the energy here, and then we'll look at the second half of the month. I feel like this is a bit surprising for you. As I say that, the 7 of Swords, something kind of surprising you. Ordinarily, this is a card of someone sneaking behind your back, or of something not quite being what it seems, someone kind of playing games. But to be honest with you, it's almost like a pleasant surprise, something you weren't expecting. If there is someone sneaking around behind your back, however, I will say with the Judgment card, you're going to know it right away, and there's going to be a big reveal. But I almost feel like there's this good news. Something might slip a bit early. You might be hearing an announcement. I'm actually hearing baby for some of you. Maybe some of you are finding out you're pregnant, or someone you're close to is pregnant, or announcing something like that. And the Hanged Man with the 9 of Cups. This could be involving a Pisces energy. But I actually feel like it's something you've been waiting for is finally coming in. A wish coming true. There's so much celebration here. If it were just these 2 cards alone, Virgo, I would tell you that you're sensing there is this celebration coming for you, but I think you're already celebrating something. And something unexpected is happening here. There could also be individuals who are kind of noticing there's something good in your energy, something positive is happening, and it's almost like this energy vampirism or this sort of like deceptive energy. Someone wants in on that energy that you're experiencing. So that could be something to be watchful of, but honestly, Virgo, I feel like you would see it from a mile away. You have the Hanged Man card, you have the Judgment card. There'll be this revelation. You'll see it. And it could also just be this perspective shift that's changing too. I could see that with the Hanged Man. Traditionally, the Hanged Man actually depicts Odin, who is suspending himself upside down. This is actually how he learned to read the runes. He needed to gain a different perspective. And maybe it's this perspective shift that is making you so happy. You're already seeing all these blessings. But again, Virgo, I feel like there's just this energy of celebration for you this month, which is really, really exciting to see. I'm happy for us to be seeing this. And again, with this new moon energy right towards the middle of the month on the 13th, I want you to really manifest either something that brings you a lot of joy, reconnecting with your joy, or something creative for yourself. Baby, oh my God, some of you really could be getting pregnant this month or finding out about a pregnancy, because the 5th house does rule over children as well. That's so interesting. I didn't even make that connection. Yeah, there could actually be this announcement, this news with this Ace of Swords. And the Strength card, Leo energy, interesting. And we do have a Leo full moon at the end of the month. And this is revealing a lot of subconscious patterns for you, ways that you might have been holding yourself back or sabotaging yourself. And you're realizing you are stronger than you realize. You're more radiant than you realize. You're creating something long-lasting. And the Justice card here, something balanced. If there is this like conflict or situation, especially with the 7 of Swords, if someone is trying to like smear you in some way, or there's even like a legal situation, if we're getting really literal here, I feel like you're ultimately going to end things in your favor with the Justice card. Justice will be served. Whoever this sort of sneaky energy is, or whatever the 7 of Swords represents, I do feel like it will be right, set right, by the end of the month, or you will have news that it's going to be set right by the end of the month. There's this hope. And maybe your strength and conviction has been tested. I want to be honest with you, Virgo. If you feel like you need to kind of call somebody out or call a situation out, do so with a lot of composure. Because with this Lion here, you might be feeling like you really need to come and very ferociously, especially with the energy this month, with Mars in the sign of Taurus, with this full moon in Leo, especially with the T-square that's going to be happening. There could be a lot of how shall I say, ego wounds or inflated egos that's creating a lot of drama. And you're kind of being the bigger person if that happens for you, Virgo. But to be honest, I feel like you're seeing something very clearly. And that's not going to be a challenge for you, for most of you. The Page of Wands or the Daughter of Wands. Yeah, some of you are having this spiritual awakening. And I think that's going to be happening for you all throughout this month, to be honest with you, especially towards the end of the month. There's a ton of creative energy that is going to be coming through you as well. It's really important that you listen to that impulse to create if it comes up for you, and to really Follow the motivation in whatever it is that you feel called to do as it arises. Don't let that energy go to waste. Listen to this call. Listen to this judgment. It's going to lead you to a lot of happiness. And if you have this celebration energy or this positive energy already, use that to create even more of it. God, I love this energy for you, Virgo. Let's pull one more card. Let's pull an animal card here for you. The crocodile card. Good things come to people who wait. I feel like you've been waiting for something for a really long time, and now it's finally coming up for you. Again, however, this is also making me think of kind of the crocodile, eyes beneath, or eyes above the water. Something is beneath the surface, but you see it. It's sort of that Seven of energy, or Seven of Swords energy. You're seeing something really, really clearly. And something might be coming up from beneath the surface. But honestly, Virgo, I don't feel like that's gonna squander whatever this celebration is for you. Yeah, it's just this tiny sting with this scorpion energy. It really feels like petty, if I'm being honest. It's like someone is jealous of your happiness, or it's like this crabs in a barrel sort of situation where it's like you're climbing out of the barrel and other people are trying to pull you back down. People do this subconsciously all the time. I know this sounds really cynical, but we'll notice psychologically when someone makes a positive change, say they change their diet or they adopt a fitness routine, oftentimes the people in their lives will actually resist that. They'll try and get them to cheat on their diet, or they'll try and get them to, take a day off from their workout routine. And it's almost like trying to keep you in their lives subconsciously. There's this fear that if you lift yourself up too much, they lose connection with you in some way, or it says something about them. It makes them look bad, so they kind of try and keep you on their level. That could be something that's happening, and I want you to be really mindful of that. If someone's making kind of these remarks, don't get swayed by this. Don't react to this too much. Kind of understand where this person is coming from. Really look at the situation objectively. And I feel like a lot of you right now are watching this and just kind of nodding your head, and you're like, oh, I know exactly what this is talking about. I know exactly who this is talking about. Because overall, Virgo, you have a lot of beautiful energy. There's a lot of happiness that's going to be happening for you, and it feels very sudden. It's like this, ooh, sorry. I dropped my stone here. It's like this sudden shift that's happening for you. And there might be some jealousy or some envy that you are encountering, and that's just something to be mindful of. But there's this new beginning with this Deer card at the bottom of the deck. And again, this is making me think of new life. There really could be a child, a new child coming into the picture, either with a relative, a friend, or even for yourself, or it's just a symbol of this new beginning. And I really hope that you enjoy this and you don't lose sight of this, Virgo. It feels very beautiful and precious. And I hope that this reading was helpful for you. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. If you'd like more insight or something didn't quite resonate with you, you're more than welcome to try one of the other readings in the description box down below. You'll find all those timestamps, and I will see you in next month's video. If you want to book a personal reading or Reiki session with me in the meantime, all of my information is down below, and I do have the 25% off sale until January 1st, so be sure to snag those while they're still available. Take care, Virgo, and have a happy January. Hey Libra, this is Michael with your general reading for January 2021. I am very curious to see what we have in store for you this month. You actually already had a card that fell out for you, and it is the Seven of Cups. This is actually really interesting because this came out just as I was shuffling before I recorded your reading. So I wonder if there's this thing where you are considering your options, or really feeling confused, or not really sure what to think or feel in a situation. When I see the Seven of Cups here, it kind of makes me feel like you're in a bit of a dream world right now, and that's kind of the start of this month. It's interesting because with all of this Capricorn energy, you really are connecting to yourself emotionally, because Capricorn rules over your 4th house, your house of home, your house of your childhood, looking at your upbringing, looking at your roots, really diving deep inside of yourself and where you've come from, what made you the person you are now. And there's a lot of confusion here for you. There could be some choices that you feel like you need to make. There might be a lot of options up in the air for you in the first part of this month. We do also have Mercury entering the sign of Aquarius, and we have Venus entering the sign of Capricorn. So there really is this focus on creating beauty for yourself as well. You might be in this very dreamy, creative energy and using this, channeling this into things that you are creating. And some of you could be manifesting like a new home or moving or something like this with Capricorn new moon on the 13th. Again, touching into your 4th house, your IC. You do also have the Father of Wands. And this is interesting because I was just talking about this creativity. I feel like you are channeling this in some way. Could be involving a fire sign as well. Maybe there is a fire sign who is confusing you or making you feel uncertain. Something is not quite what it seems with this person. If this is someone you are resonating with, this could be someone who has their own business or someone who's kind of self-made. But honestly, Libra, I actually feel like a lot of you are creating something that you're very passionate about, and you're using your dreams to create. And that's kind of a thing with this conjunction that we actually just had in Aquarius on the 21st, the great conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn. There is this huge push for you to create things. And that's going to kind of be a theme really throughout this year, actually, for you. And to really start taking that seriously. Some of you might be taking a hobby more seriously or reconnecting with something like that. Or something artistic. You do have the 3 of Wands here as well. This is interesting. There is something that you kind of see in your horizon. I think there's a lot of kind of possibilities that you're looking at, and you're trying to figure out what's going to yield something for you or where you should be going next. I feel like at the start of January, Libra, you're really focused on where you want to go. Some of you could actually be considering relocating. You know, talking about this 4th house energy. Maybe you want to reconnect to kind of the place you grew up if you don't live there anymore, or reconnect with your roots by traveling. That could be something that you're thinking about. Obviously, with the pandemic, I think that's more about thinking right now or planning that for the future. But there's this very dreamy energy. Temperance card, kind of looking more into the second half of the month. This does make me think of like alchemy. Some of you are really transmuting your emotions through creativity. That's really, really important for you this month. And I feel like that actually could become something larger for you. Some of you could also be redecorating your home, trying to make it feel more ethereal or feel more like what home means to you. I know that sounds very, very specific, but that's something that's coming up as well. And I think there's a lot of transformation that some of you are going to be going through. That's actually what I was tapping into before I started shuffling. And that kind of makes sense. You have Mars entering Taurus towards the middle or beginning of this month, I should say, on the 6th. And then Uranus is stationing direct in Taurus on the 14th. And this is all in your 8th house, your 8th house of transformation. That is this transmutation that is happening as well. You might be feeling like you're having a lot of intense emotions coming up for you this month, Libra, and I feel like you're supposed to be using this in some sort of creative process or processing these emotions in a different way than you usually do, but it feels like it's a creative thing for a lot of you. Maybe some of you are working with a fire sign, especially a Sagittarius energy. And there is kind of this thing, for some reason I'm getting with like travel. Or other places, thinking about other places a lot, or going into like fantasy worlds. That is very Sagittarian. And with the 6 of Cups, it's almost like you're reconnecting. We were talking about this actually. There's a lot of healing. There is a lot of healing that you're doing. Temperance is about healing. 6 of Cups is about healing. You are in the process of healing your past. I think with a lot of this Capricorn energy throughout most of January, especially with Pluto in there, as these planets are passing over Pluto in Capricorn, there's really going to be a lot of transformation and healing and purging that's going to be happening for you. And I actually think it's going to give you a lot more energy. It's going to help you create more and create a life that you want to live. You're going to be going and sorting through all of these old patterns that you may have adopted in your childhood. I do have an astrology blog linked down below, and I list out all of the aspects and transits by date at the very end of it. I would actually look at the specific dates that these planets are going to be conjunct with Pluto in Capricorn. Those are going to be really important dates for you to keep in mind. I feel like there's going to be a lot of transformation that's happening. And even with the collective at large, there's going to be pretty dramatic shifts in power and structures. Obviously in the US we have the inauguration. I kind of talked about that. But I think for you, there's a lot of really immense and intense shifts in yourself that's happening. And that's kind of with this Pluto energy in your 4th house. It's with all of this 8th house activation with this Taurus energy. And you even have the moon. So again, your emotions really are going to feel quite heightened this month. And you might have already felt like they were pretty... It feels like it's kind of an emotional month starting off with January, to be totally honest with you, and I think that's just going to be something that's pretty consistent throughout. You might be dealing with nostalgia. You might be kind of dealing with grief, but you're transmuting it, you're changing it, and you're becoming much more intuitive with this as well, with the moon card here. And that's interesting. That's really interesting. I actually want to clarify this a little more. Some of you may feel like you have been on this healing journey for quite some time. You do have the 8 of Wands, which tells me you've been working on something for a long time. It could be this creative project that I'm tapping in for some of you, but I actually feel like this is really talking about your healing journey. And the creativity is something that is helping you kind of work through this. But it's like you've almost reached your goal. You might feel exhausted after climbing all this way, but there is an end in sight for you. You just have to push a little more. And that's kind of what's happening with your emotions. You do have the Ace of Swords here as well, a sudden change or realization or new information that you are becoming aware of. Again, this feels like it's intuitive. Maybe there's something that's coming to you in your dreams, or maybe there's even this this sudden thing that causes this perspective shift in you, and that's the thing that helps you heal, or that's the thing that helps you shift your mood. I think you're going to be really aware of the fact that your thoughts and the stories you tell yourself affect your mood, and vice versa. Your mood is going to color the stories that you tell yourself. I think for some reason that's something to really be mindful of in January. I do want to pull some animal cards here as well, and I might pull a couple of other oracles depending on what we get here. Wow, okay, yeah, pretty much everything we've been talking about, the butterfly and the whale. You are going through a major transformation this month. And it's almost like you're letting go of this old you. What a lot of people don't realize about the butterfly is that in order for it to transform, the caterpillar actually has to go into this cocoon and completely dissolve inside of itself. It loses everything that it was and becomes this thing that it was truly meant to be. I feel like that's the process you are in right now. And with the whale card, it's like you are diving deep. You are answering this call to go deeper. Some of you do also need to take care of yourself in this process with both of these cards. Butterfly talks about doing a self-care ritual every day as you're going through a transformation process, something that helps you retain a sense of stability, because honestly, Libra, your emotions are kind of all over the place. I feel like some of you actually might be going through a bit of a depression, and I'm not trying to curse you for January. If this doesn't resonate, you're welcome to check out some of your other videos for your other signs. But if you have been going through this depression, if you have already been going through this hard time, I do feel like there is a shift that is happening for you, and it's important that you're taking this self-care to help yourself through this last bit of this rough transition or this rough period that you've been in. 2020 has been such a hard year for most people, and I think it's important for you to kind of take care of yourself during this transformation and to come up for air, to give yourself some room to breathe and maybe even express something. This could also be that someone is revealing something to you. They're opening up to you. That is actually possible. I could see that, especially with the Ace of Swords. And it could be this fire sign individual or this really fiery self-starter. But I actually feel like you're transmuting all of this, and now you are creating something very, very beautiful from it. Because when I saw the Temperance card, I actually thought of the Thoth Temperance card, which is called art. And it's all about transmutation. It's all about alchemy. You are really creating something from these intense emotions, from this hard energy that you've been in. Maybe this is the thing that actually can help you shift your emotions, that helps you transform and find beauty. Some of you are also doing this with music. I'm hearing that with the whale song as well. Some of you are working with sound or sound healing. I could very well see that. For others of you, I almost get this like painting sort of thing with the butterfly. Or something like nature photography as well. I could kind of see that. I'm feeling this very visual focus with butterfly, and there's almost this more prosodic element with whale. So that's about song, lyrics, music, maybe even poetry for some of you, but I'm feeling it's more like a visual art or music specifically. And that's going to be really, really helpful for you to connect to that passion, especially if it's been something that's been a long time since you've connected with or worked with. But honestly, Libra, you're creating a lot of beauty here. And it may feel like this is kind of a hard and heavy reading. I feel like a lot of this intensity was already with you. However, for those of you this is meant for, again, I'm not saying this is going to suddenly shift for you if you haven't felt this. I feel like for those of you who have been in this depression or who have been feeling all of these really intense emotions, it's now time for you to really transmute this, to really create something beautiful from it. And instead of just kind of letting it fester there or stay there, you're channeling it into something. And that's so interesting. Again, as we're going into the Aquarius energy, again, that is your 5th house, your house of creativity. This is going to actually be a huge theme for you all throughout 2021 because we have Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius throughout most of the year. It is going to be going, Jupiter is going to be going into Pisces for some part of the year before retrograding. I think it's like in May it enters Pisces, and then it comes back in July, and then it goes back into Pisces, I want to say in December. I actually think I wrote that out in the blog post. Again, I have all of those dates if you're curious. It's a bit more comprehensive as well and talks more about the collective implications for these transits. But there is this beautiful thing, you're finding this joy again, and it's almost like you're finding the joy in this energy that once brought you pain. You're completely transmuting something. You're the alchemist this month, and really throughout most of this year, and this is so, so beautiful to see. Is there anything else? I'm really not getting any more messages for you, Libra. That actually felt pretty complete to me. I feel like you know what you need to do. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below if this was helpful, if you know what this creative outlet is for you. If you would like to look at one of the other readings, again, you're welcome to check out the other timestamps in the description box. You can look at your moon, rising, or Venus signs. I do have the natal chart calculator down below if that would help you out if you don't remember or just need a quick reminder. And you're also welcome to even just listen to your own intuition and pick out a video, even if you don't have a sign in it. Maybe there's a message there for you as well. I do have my sale running for the 25% off on all of my readings and Reiki sessions until January 1st at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. So if you want a personal reading or Reiki session with me, maybe to help kind of navigate through this dark night of the soul, through this intense emotional turmoil you're going through, it would be a great way to start the new year, I think, for you, and maybe figure out what you're supposed to be doing creatively. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Libra. I'm wishing you a beautiful 2021. Lots of new year blessings to you, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Hey Scorpio, we're about to take a look at your reading for January 2021. We already have a card falling out here for you, the Four of Wands. This is interesting because this does sometimes talk about celebrations. Sometimes this is talking about things like marriage, anniversaries, something that is seeing a completion. You're moving to the next level with something. Interestingly, you do have a lot of energy in your 7th house. You have Uranus stationing direct on the 14th in the sign of Taurus, which is all about relationships, partnerships. Some of you might be reassessing or reevaluating your relationships or the way that you show up in relationships. And there's something about celebrating or finding new ways to enjoy them. I actually do hear the word home with this, however. And that makes a lot of sense because there is actually a huge emphasis on home for you throughout 2021 because we are going to be in all of this Aquarian energy with Saturn in Aquarius and Jupiter in Aquarius throughout most of the year. There is this huge emphasis and focus on home and building a foundation. This could actually be talking about doing this with somebody else this year because Uranus is going to be in the sign of Taurus all of this year. With Mars in your 7th house as well, there's definitely this passion that's going to be found in your relationships. There could be a lot of sexual chemistry, kind of finding that spark again if it's been something that's been sort of dull for you. But honestly, I feel like you're kind of changing some things, and actually some of you really might be reassessing your relationships. I see this with the 5 of Swords here. You're kind of cutting ties with things that are no longer serving you, things that are no longer really helping you achieve your goals, either for yourself or the goals you want to accomplish with other people. You might also be letting go of the ways that you kind of self-sabotage or self-destruct. I'm seeing that specifically with this card. I think some of you have actually been afraid of your own happiness. That's such a Scorpio thing to say, I think. But it's almost like you've been sabotaging this thing that you should be celebrating. And I'm actually feeling, Scorpio, you're allowing yourself to be happier. And not being so afraid of that. And losing that. Yeah, the Fool. You're kind of just supposed to be diving into something here. And this is interesting. Traditionally, the Five of Swords does represent walking away from something. But this specific card from this Wild Unknown Tarot deck, it really is almost the ways that we sabotage ourselves. A lot of the time, the Five of Swords is depicting this guy who is walking away from a fight or walking away from a battle they just can't win. And it's like, are you going to try and fight this losing battle? Or are you going to put your energy elsewhere? But the way this is applying for you specifically, Scorpio, it's like you're going to stop self-sabotaging. And you're going to stop resisting your own happiness. You're going to open yourself up more with the Fool card. And kind of thinking about the astrology, what do we have for you? There's a lot of focus on your mind as well, actually, and maybe this is kind of the part where you see the way your own thoughts, your own stories have been preventing you from enjoying your life, where you've been your own worst critic or been the one to kind of burst your own bubble. And be like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't get too excited about this, or maybe I shouldn't allow myself to get carried away just yet. Because it feels like there's actually been something in your life, Scorpio, for the group I'm connecting to, that has actually been kind of a blessing, and you've been afraid to fully celebrate it. For some of you, this could be a relationship, or it could just be some sort of achievement that you have made for yourself. And it's almost like you're now seeing that this achievement is leading you other places. I have that with the Seven of Cups and the Four of Swords. You're seeing new possibilities that you didn't see before. And your third eye is opening as you're kind of pausing and seeing things from this new perspective. And again, with all of this Capricorn energy, there really is a big focus on your mind, because Capricorn rules over your third house. The conscious mind, the way you communicate. There could be some good news or some exciting offer that is coming your way. And in the first part of the month, you might be a little reticent to hop on. But with the Six of Wands, there really is this victory. Again, this accomplishment, this achievement. And it's like you're afraid to allow yourself to really believe in it. Yeah, the Two of Swords, you're being guarded to this. You're being guarded to all of these possibilities. And because you're not celebrating the things you've already achieved, or the successes you've already had, or the people and the relationships you've already established, you're not able to see the possibilities of where all of this can go. And I don't think it's until the second half of the month that that starts to change for you. And maybe that's when Uranus is going direct in your opposite sign, in Taurus. I do want to say this as well. We have Mercury going retrograde right at the end of this month. As many of you are aware, these Mercury retrogrades can really be a time of bringing people back from the past. That could be this Six of Wands energy, that there could be a message you are receiving from somebody in the past and you're not quite sure what to make of it. With the Seven of Cups and the Four of Swords here, you're kind of trying to intuit this person's motives, or if this person is someone you should really allow back into your life or open up communication with. Especially if this was someone you walked away from or they walked away from you with the Five of Swords. This person could be an Aries with the Fool energy. Technically also Aquarius. But I'm reading more of an Aries energy with the Fool, to be honest. I do feel like you're receiving downloads in your sleep or in your dreams. And you could suddenly start knowing things, or these concepts just start clicking for you. And with the full moon in the sign of Leo right at the end of the month, there could be this celebration with your career, this achievement that you are making. But to be honest, again, the Five of Pentacles, it's like you don't see it. True to this being a very mental month for you, especially with Mercury going retrograde towards the end of the month, your mind is almost being wielded against you. You're using your mind against you, Scorpio. The Nine of Swords. Need I say more? That is exactly what I was just saying. There's a lot of worry, a lot of mental distress, and honestly, Scorpio, it's almost in your head. It's like you're not seeing your own reality objectively, or you're missing all of these opportunities, these blessings that are coming into your life because you're afraid to leap into something. You're being very guarded. Or you don't want to celebrate too soon. But honestly, Scorpio, it feels like there's even more exciting possibilities coming your way. And if you allow yourself to really open up to it, you might be surprised where all of these achievements or these relationships or whatever these things are in your life, you'll be surprised how far they can take you. I wonder if some of you moved into a new house or something like that too. Or you're in the process of selling a house or relocating. If this is you and there's something that doesn't quite pan out the way you want it to, it's almost like there's something better for you. There's more options. So don't get too hung up if something doesn't go exactly the way you think you want it to go. I think there's actually more possibilities or something even more aligned for you. Because there is this sense of triumphancy, this victory for you. But you're not seeing it. Or you're having a very hard time seeing it. Firefly. Yeah, pay attention to your dreams. Again, some of you are receiving downloads in your dreams. When I see the Firefly card, it's kind of like this bright idea that comes to you or this inspiration that comes to you, and then it's fleeting. And maybe that's kind of what this sense of victory or this sense of achievement or connection feels like. It's bright and luminous, and in the moment it's so obvious. But then the light kind of fades and you're left wondering, was this all in my imagination? Was I going crazy? Maybe this wasn't actually real, but I think it was real, or there's even something better for you coming your way. But honestly, there's just this weird mind game you're playing with yourself this month, or maybe someone is playing with you. But honestly, I don't see a lot of other people here in this spread. It actually feels like, Scorpio, this is kind of the stories you're telling yourself, which is interesting. And maybe this is talking about people from the past, but it's like they're not really in your life as much anymore. So that's really, really interesting. And the tarantula. This is interesting because this is about shedding. It's about following something, following your dreams, following your intuition. Tarantula is not spider, which is about waiting for something to come to you. Tarantula is an ambush predator. It's about feeling out the vibe. You know, tarantula is covered in these fine hairs. It actually is very, very sensitive to vibration. So it's about feeling out your environment, feeling out these possibilities, and going for something. But it's like something doesn't quite go your way or go the way you expect it to, Scorpio, and you're almost having a hard time moving forward from that, but you're just supposed to keep going because there really is this beautiful blessing here for you with the Six of Wands, and there's this rising above whatever circumstance has been challenging you or whatever darkness you've been in. There is this transformation that you're supposed to be going through, and I think it is available to you. It just might be hard for you to access this month. So maybe in the comment section down below, kind of talk about what these stories are for you. What stories are you going to be letting go of this month? What anxieties are you going to be letting go of? What expectations that are actually harming you are you going to be letting go of? Because I feel like there's more possibilities than you're allowing yourself to see right now. And there are things that could take you farther than you realize. That's another message I keep getting. So open your mind, Scorpio. That's all I will say. That's really all I have for you for this month. I do hope that this reading was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. If you'd like to check out one of the other readings in the timestamps down below, you are welcome to do so. Maybe for your moon, rising, Venus sign, or whatever video you really feel drawn to is totally fine. Just trust that it's the message for you if you feel drawn to another video. And I will see you all next time. Take care, Scorpio, and have a happy January, and I'm wishing you a beautiful new year ahead of you. Hey Sagittarius, we are going to be taking a look at what January 2021 has in store for you using tarot and astrology. We already have a card that flew right out here, and I'm not surprised to see the sun. You may notice I kind of had this swing in my energy. I was just kind of feeling out your vibe before I was even pulling some cards. There is something beautiful going on for you right now, Sagittarius. This really, invigorated energy. Maybe it still has to do with this new moon eclipse that we had in your sign on December 14th. There could still be some momentum that you are feeling all throughout January as well. I feel like there's some blessings that are going to be coming into your life. You're in some creative or fertile grounds as well with the sun here. This is a really great start. And I do feel like with this Capricorn energy, a lot of you are focused on finances specifically. So maybe there is this material boon, this financial boon that is coming for you, or you have this idea that might make you a lot of money. Yeah, your intuition is really, really strong as well with the High Priestess and the Page of Swords here. You're actually seeing things like super, super clearly coming into this month, which is really, really interesting. We do have what is this actually? I feel like this is actually connected to the Aquarian energy that we're going to be experiencing all throughout 2021. Your ruling planet actually did just move into the sign of Aquarius. It actually did that last month in December. We had that great conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius on the 21st, on winter solstice. And your ruling planet was really not very happy in the sign of Capricorn, which is where it was all throughout 2020. It created a lot of restrictions for us. We really wanted to break out of the mold. We wanted to have freedom, and we were just stuck. We weren't really able to go anywhere. That is going to start lessening throughout 2021, especially as Saturn and Jupiter gain more and more distance apart from each other. It really won't be until the very end of the year, though, when these planets are finally separated from each other, about 10 degrees out of their orbit. But there is this new momentum. Things are starting to loosen, and you're starting to feel this new freedom. And honestly, you're just seeing things very, very clearly at the start of this month. This Aquarian energy is also affecting your conscious mind. You're becoming aware of all of these ideas. You might be learning new things that are really, really exciting to you and connecting with a lot of people. There might be a lot of communication, but again, there's this really psychic connection that you have with people as well that's quite interesting. We do also have a lot of planets that are going to be moving throughout Capricorn over the over the planet Pluto, and that's really going to be causing a lot of transformations in your wealth, in your possessions. Maybe this is what's bringing in all of this new energy, all of these new blessings. So really, really exciting energy so far, to be completely honest with you. I don't even know what else to say right now. Yeah, the Two of Coins, or the Two of Pentacles here, there could be this change or this new move, this blessing, if it'll come into focus here. And there's this transformation that's going on with this butterfly. If you can just focus a little more. There we go. Took a moment. But something is transforming. And again, I feel like some of you might be getting a new job, or some of you could be moving. There's something that's making you feel really, really excited. And maybe this is just the things that you're learning about. I feel like some of you are also really developing your intuition more. That doesn't actually surprise me. I think that's going to be something you're really going to be into all throughout 2021, because your third house in Aquarius, it's learning about astrology, learning about these higher principles or higher concepts. You might be taking courses, you might be learning things online. Some of you could be learning about astrology or tarot yourselves. And I feel like there's almost this shift into this new way of being for you. And some of you might actually be changing the way that you make money. There could be a new source of income for you, which is really, really exciting. Again, a lot of beautiful blessings here. Yeah, Six of Swords. You're leaving the hard times behind you. You're moving towards something that feels really, really positive. There has been struggle all throughout this past year for you with the Six of Swords, and you've kind of put down your sword. You stopped fighting these battles that you couldn't win. It's like the conflict is over, the bloodshed is over, the suffering is over, and you're moving forward. Again, some of you actually could be moving literally. Or you're planning a move, you're planning some sort of trip, maybe when things open up, or maybe there's some sort of new opportunity that could take you someplace else. I am loving this energy for you, Sagittarius, I have to say. I am actually a Sag moon myself, so I am totally open to receiving this energy myself here. We also have the Ten of Coins. Yes, again, there is this potential for long-term abundance and success for you. Whatever you're working all throughout this month, and really probably throughout this year, you're working some real magic. You have the High Priestess here. You also have the Moon and the Strength card. You are so intuitive this month, and I feel like this is going to just be energy you're going to be in. Honestly, I would not be surprised if a lot of you were starting to work as readers yourself, or doing this sort of work, maybe online, or learning more about it. But there's just something that really has you revved up. And you've grown so much from this emotional hardship that you've been through. And it's no coincidence the star is actually the major arcana associated with Aquarian energy, because the star comes after the tower. It comes after things have fallen apart, kind of the worst case scenario happens, and you find hope again. I'm almost getting this star energy for you, even though it's not on the table. You're finding this hope again. You're looking forward to things again. You've become so strong through all of this kind of wandering in the dark. And you've really become quite wise over the past year. And you might even be helping other people. You might be a pillar of strength to people who are in this moon energy, kind of in the dark night of the soul that you might have gone through in the past. Again, I do feel that this is behind you, or it is energy that you are finally leaving in your past. In January, it's like this new year really is a new you. You are going through a lot of major transformations as well. Even right at the end of December, we have a full moon in the sign of Cancer, which is your 8th house, your house of transformation. A spiritual death and rebirth. So let's see what else we have here. Let's kind of clarify this energy, but honestly, it feels pretty clear to me. Wow, okay, the Three of Cups, again, this celebratory energy. Maybe you are connecting with people who are kind of like-minded spirits. You might be connecting to kind of your flock here. People who are like-minded, people who kind of have this magic to them as well. And you have the World, which is the completion of the cycle, a graduation into something new. Again, this could also be talking about a world of possibilities. It really just feels like a door is opening for you, or a door has already opened for you, Sagittarius, and there's all of these beautiful things that you are walking into. And I feel like it's really bringing you a lot of happiness. You are able to sustain yourself doing something that you love, that makes you feel really, really passionate, or you're getting back in touch with something that you are passionate about that can be sustaining to you in the long term. Because you have the 10 of Pentacles here. There is a lot of long-term potential when you have this card. And with all of this Capricorn energy throughout the month, you really are going to be kind of a powerhouse. And I think it's really going to be helping you become much more abundant. And that's kind of interesting, because I think for most people throughout this year, finances are really going to be something that's going to be a point of contention. We have Uranus in the sign of Taurus here, and that's really going to be causing some shakeups in our financial systems. But honestly, Sagittarius, I feel like whatever it is you're doing, you're somehow sustaining yourself doing things that you love. Whew, man, I was talking so quickly, I nearly choked myself. That was crazy. There's just this beautiful energy for you, Sagittarius. I'm really, really excited to hear about this in the comment section down below. What is it that you're working on? What this thing is, this new idea. I feel like whatever sort of ideas are coming to you throughout January can be very, very fruitful for you in the long term as well. So really pay attention to your intuition. I'm going to pull some animal cards here just to kind of clarify these messages, or maybe add anything we could have missed. What is the animal wisdom for Sagittarius for the month of January 2021? Interesting. The Horse card. There is again this abundance that you are moving towards. The horse is actually the master of the earth element. Again, you're very, very strong. You have a lot of discipline mentally and physically. Maybe some of you are feeling so good because you're physically exercising, you're physically taking care of yourself, and that's giving you a lot more energy. And it's just flowing into other areas of your life as well. It's like this positive energy that you're feeling is infectious, and that's very, very interesting, honestly, for the astrology of this month. But I think it's affecting you in a certain way. That's really allowing you to create something beautiful. The Swan card, interesting. And the Hummingbird also came out too. The Swan card is really spiritual. Again, this is kind of making me think of the mystical energy we were talking about earlier. This is going to be a really mystical year for you. Some of you might also be doing something with writing as well, because the swan is associated with the goddess Saraswati, the goddess of poetry. There could also be something with songwriting or music for some of you as well. And with the hummingbird, it really is finding the sweetness in life, finding the joy, finding your mana. You are finding this life source that is giving you so much positive energy. And if you aren't quite resonating with this when you're watching this video, this is your invitation to really do something that you love just for the sake of the enjoyment that it brings you, because that one thing is going to shift your whole month in a very positive direction. Some of you could also be doing something with healing as well. I'm getting that with hummingbird for some reason. And there could be this thing with travel. I could see that. I could even see this, I know this sounds kind of esoteric and strange, but it could even be astral travel. So there could be this thing you're doing in your dreams, or maybe you're working out of body, or learning more about that, or kind of practicing that for yourself. Out of body experiences, astral projection, because you do have a very strong mystical energy to you this month, Sagittarius. And my hands are like on fire right now reading this energy for you. It's incredible. There is also a lot of Leo energy on this table as well. You have the Sun and the Strength card. I do feel like there could be people around you who are going through a really hard time, and maybe their energy is just not a match to yours. There could even be this weird sort of conflict or contention because of it. Like it's almost like your happiness is irritating to somebody. I know that sounds kind of negative, but that does sometimes happen. So that might be something to be mindful of, but to be honest, I really just feel like that's not going to affect you so much. I am thinking of this Leo full moon that we have right at the end of the month, and this is going to be in your 9th house, which is about travel, new ideas, new information, information from other places. And sometimes that is talking about astrology, that's talking about tarot, these kind of spiritual practices or beliefs as well. That does sort of seem to be a theme here for you, Sagittarius. And that is bringing you a lot of awareness and a lot of this inspiration. Again, there might be people who don't understand it. There is actually a T-square with this full moon as well, and that could be bringing on some conflict. But with the T-square, it's when there's two planets that are opposite of each other and there is a square between them, so it's kind of forming a right triangle. it's like there's a way to meet in the middle, and there's a way to actually grow from the conflicts that you experience with people this month, if that is something that you encounter. And I feel like with just all of this optimism and positive energy, it's like even the challenges, even the hardships now, you're looking at them as opportunities for growth and for your expansion. And you just feel like this indomitable spirit this month, Sagittarius. This is so, so beautiful. And those are really all the messages I am getting for you. That felt pretty thorough for me. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below what you are doing this month, because it is working for you. I felt all of this energy before I even pulled the cards, and it just confirmed immediately what I already sensed. So that's really, really exciting. And I do have the other readings in the timestamps down below. If you'd like greater clarity on something, or this video didn't quite resonate, you want to get a little more information, you are welcome to check out those other videos. I do have all of my services on sale at 25% off on my website. I'll be running that until Friday, January 1st at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to get a sale, if you want to get a reading or a Reiki session with me, that is a great time. Maybe that's the thing that kind of sparks your interest in this new practice, whatever it is you're pursuing. Maybe there's something expansive for you there as well. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Sagittarius. Have a happy January. I am sending lots of blessings this way, or your way, for this new year. It seems like you are already shaping it up to be something absolutely incredible, so I can't wait to hear about it. Take care. Hey Capricorn, happy birthday to those of you who have a solar return this month. We are going to be looking at what January 2021 has in store for you using tarot and astrology. I'm just going to kind of shuffle the cards here and see what pops out. We already just had a big block here. I usually don't take them when it's just a huge chunk like that. When we're kind of talking about the solar return, when we're talking about the birthday, it really is sort of like a New Year's resolution anyways. So it's kind of interesting that this is literally New Year's resolution for some of us as well with the new year. I feel like there's this kind of renewed energy that you're actually finding yourself in right at the beginning of this year. The reason for this is you have had Saturn and Jupiter in your sign for the past year, and it's been causing a lot of restrictions and a lot of these harsh lessons that we have been going through over the past year in 2020. It did actually leave your sign. I should say Saturn left your sign for a couple months last year, or I should say 2020. It is still 2020 when I'm recording this. But for the most part, you've had a lot of personal growth that you've been undergoing, especially with Jupiter, Saturn conjunct with Pluto. That is still technically going to be in your sign, but there's been a lot of transformation that you've been going through. And I think in this past year specifically, there's been a lot of personal growth. And it might have been very hard at first, but I feel like as we were kind of ending this year off, it was like you were kind of coming into yourself more, you sort of mastered these lessons, and now it feels like you're ready to create something with this, with all of this energy moving into the sign of Aquarius, your second house. You might be becoming much more abundant this month as well, or focused on making more money or creating stability for yourself. Yeah, you have the Three of Pentacles here. You are ready to work at the start of this month. That's really exciting to see. There could be some collaboration you are actually doing, working together with other people. And that's the thing, you've been doing this really intense personal work for some time. This could be you working together with other people, making money, working on something like job-wise, career-wise, or a project. Or it could just be you coming into a circle of people who are helping you, who are supporting you in reaching your goals. You don't have to climb this mountain alone anymore. So that's really, really exciting to see. That feels really, really positive, because I feel like Capricorn, you've just had a lot of really intense lessons over the past few years with Saturn in your sign. Some of you may have even been going through your Saturn return, which also really brought those lessons to a whole new level for you. That's interesting. You have the Tower and the Six of Coins here, or the Six of Pentacles, but honestly, this Tower actually did come out in reverse, and I feel like this is kind of the evolution that you've been going through. And with the Six of Pentacles, it's like something is helping you now. You may have felt like your life was kind of just this tower, kind of tumbling down, or something on fire. And now there's these people who are coming in who are able to help you, or there's this positive energy that is helping you feel like you can take care of this situation or take care of this energy now. This could be involving an Aries or a Scorpio energy, because this is a Mars energy, this Taurus energy. Or, sorry, this Mars energy. It could be Aries or Scorpio. We do have Mars entering Taurus around the 6th of January, however. And that is your 5th house, your house of fun, of creativity. There could be a lot of passion that you are experiencing when that planet enters that sign for you. And Uranus, which is also in the sign of Taurus, is going to be stationing direct right at the middle of the month, right at the 14th of January. And that's going to be causing you to really wake up, or shake up something in your life, and kind of get out of a rut that you've been in. You do have the Ace of Swords, which interestingly does remind me of this Tower card. I'm seeing this lightning as kind of a recurring image. There is this download, or this insight that you are gaining very suddenly. This could be coming through a message. Maybe this is somebody else giving you information. But honestly, I think this is actually a spiritual thing for a lot of you, or just this perspective shift that you are experiencing. It's like your crown is being blown open with this Tower card. I do want to say, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you did have just like this one last bump with kind of the lessons you've been going through. There might be one last trial, but honestly, after everything you've been through, Capricorn, I feel like you are very well equipped to deal with it. I'm honestly not so concerned about it. You're just sort of like, whatever. Like you already have a clear sense of your future, or how to move forward, how to proceed from here. And it feels really, really beautiful. It's almost like walls are coming down, and it's actually allowing you to open up to things, or gain access to things with this Tower card here. The Tower isn't always a bad thing. It's just a very shocking thing, or a very dramatic shift, and it's often unexpected. You could be receiving news that does kind of rock your world. I will say that as well. That could be something that happens for you. You do have this new moon in your sign on the 13th as well. And maybe this is you kind of bringing your own walls down. Maybe you're the Tower. Maybe you're the lightning bringing something down and revealing something in a very dramatic way. But I do feel like there is money coming for you, there is help coming for you, there's abundance coming for you with the 3 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. I don't even necessarily know if it's in your bank account, so to speak, in the first part of this month, but it's like you see it coming, you know it's coming here with the Ace of Swords. Let's take a look more into the second half of this month, where all of this is leading you. And then we'll kind of clarify all of this energy and pull some animal oracle cards for you as well. What are the messages for Capricorn? Interesting. What are the messages for Capricorn? I do feel like some of you could actually be dating somebody new or dating again, connecting with new people. And I know it's a pandemic. I know there's lockdowns going on. Maybe this is just you on some sort of dating app or something like that, connecting with somebody. But I do feel like you might be opening up to someone else. It actually feels like this person could be a bit older than you. I say that because you have the Father of Cups here on the table, and you have the Father of Swords with the Two of Cups here. Some of you, this is also representing a challenge between following your head or following your heart. The Father of Swords or the Father of Cups here. And I think instead of choosing one or the other, you actually have to find the union between these two things. Using, this is interesting, I actually pulled a tea bag for one of the signs yesterday, and I think the message was use your head to live with your heart. And that's kind of how I'm actually interpreting this energy for a lot of you. And it's like you're following your passion, you're trying to do the things that excite you or excite your soul, and I think you need to figure out how to make those things happen for you, how to develop those into something that can really be something you create your life around. Interesting. We do also have a Devil card here as well. What's interesting about this, Capricorn, is that this is actually your card. I do wonder if some of you are your own worst enemies. Let's kind of clarify this really quickly. Why is the Devil here? Some of you might actually be doing something to excess. You might be indulging in too much of a good thing. I am actually kind of getting that impression from some of you. So it's important to practice things with moderation here. So you have the Mother of Wands here, and the Ten of Wands. But what's interesting about this Ten of Wands, the way that this is actually connecting with these cards, is that it's kind of a bridge underneath the Tower and the Three of Pentacles. And it's also connected to this Father of Cups and the Father of Swords, kind of above it here. Ordinarily, the Ten of Wands is a card of carrying a lot of burdens, carrying a lot on your own back. It feels like with the Tower, though, and the Three of Pentacles, a lot of you are either letting go of certain burdens with this Tower, or you're distributing the weight to other people. Again, there's this sense of people helping you carry this weight, carry this burden. You're no longer doing it alone anymore. And it could be a water sign or air sign, or maybe even both. There could be multiple people helping you. Could also be a fire sign here as well. But honestly, I feel like this is a bit separate from that Ten of Wands. This Mother of Wands is really talking about following your passion, creating something, using your magic here. And really just this resiliency. The Mother of Wands or Queen of Wands is someone who's overcome these challenges and really became the best version of herself. I do want to clarify this Devil card really quickly. Why is the Devil card here? Interesting. Devil card with the World and the Sun. Something could be revealed to you, or you could be having this sort of awakening. Maybe you're seeing the ways that you've sabotaged yourself, kind of connecting it to this Ace of Swords here. You have this realization. Honestly, it really does feel like you've been your own worst enemy, or you're starting to see that. There is quite a bit of Leo energy here with the Sun. Also Aries energy. But I feel like this is really you overcoming whatever this devil was. Maybe there was an addiction, or maybe there was this dysfunctional behavior or pattern or cycle that you were locked in. But with the World, it's like you're letting it go. And even with the Ten of Wands, it's like you're letting go of these things that are just holding you back, that are burdening you. And honestly, Capricorn, it feels like a really fresh beginning here with this Sun card. It's like finally the light at the end of the tunnel. And maybe you haven't been able to see that for some time because of all of this debris kind of blocking it. But something big is shifting for you. And you have really dramatic cards on the table here. I'm not interpreting this so much in a negative sense, so much as it's just this dramatic shift that is occurring within you. And sorry if you could hear that motorcycle just a moment ago outdoors. Maybe that was your engines revving up here. Moving forward, we're going to pull a couple of animal cards here for you now. Let's see what the animal wisdom is for Capricorn. The tarantula. Yeah, you're molting. You're shedding something. You're moving forward now. Tarantula is an ambush predator. It's not spider energy that's waiting for something to come to it. Tarantula is going to go after what it wants, and it's going to do so kind of stealthily or strategically here. That's kind of this Father of Swords. I don't necessarily see you charging into something so much as it is you are taking steps towards a plan. You're doing something in a very strategic way, which actually makes a lot of sense with this month as well. The Mars and Taurus energy is very, very solid and steady and stable. It's not going to necessarily be the quickest way forward, but it's a very solid move forward that I feel like you're going to be really taking in your life. What is the animal wisdom here for Capricorn? Peacock. Yeah, some of you are really just coming into yourself. You're becoming much more expressive. And maybe that's kind of this thing with walls coming down and opening up to other people. You're not afraid of expressing your truth, or you've kind of been spending so much time figuring out who you are over the past few years, and now you're finally ready to share that. There could be this thing with creativity. Actually, I almost want to say like acting or performance or fashion with the peacock energy. And really expressing yourself in these new and exciting ways. And I think that that's kind of coming with all of this Capricorn energy that we have throughout the month. All these planets moving through Capricorn, moving through your first house. You know, you do have Venus entering your sign, I want to say on the 8th. And that could be making you really take care of your appearance or try out a new look. You're just kind of sparkling this month. We also do have a Leo full moon right at the end of the month. I want to say that's on the 28th. And where does that fall for you? Oh, that is your 8th house. Yeah, you are going through a transformation. And maybe you are transforming the way that you look, or the way that you have been living your life. There's some sort of big change that's happening for you. That might actually cause some conflict. And again, honestly, I was almost picking up before, Capricorn, that you might be this tower moment for somebody. You might be this bold, dynamic change or shift in the energy. And there's some people who are reacting to that. But it's like you're doing. It's not you responding to the tower. It's almost like you're creating it for other people. You're bringing down walls. You're being this force to reckon with. And it feels really, really exciting. I actually kind of dig this vibe for you, Capricorn. Especially in your solar return, especially with your birthday. And again, there is this thing with money and financial abundance that's coming for you as well, or working on that or focusing on that as we are entering into this Aquarius energy. I think that's going to be a big thing all throughout 2021 for you, kind of getting on your feet as well, especially if you've been going through a lot of this tower energy through last year. Those are all the messages I have for you this month, Capricorn. I do hope that this video was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know what this transformation is for you. It sounds really, really profound and powerful. I'm loving this energy for you. I'd love to hear more about it. Definitely share. Don't be afraid to flaunt here with this peacock energy. I do have my sale running until the end of January 1st at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. All of my readings and Reiki sessions are 25% off. So if you'd like a reading or some energy sent your way, it could be a great way to start off this new year. It looks like you're already going to be doing some pretty powerful shifts or making some pretty powerful shifts this month. But if you feel like you just need that little extra boost or a little extra guidance, those links are available for you down below. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Capricorn. Have a happy January, happy birthday, and happy new year. Hello, Aquarius. This is Michael with your reading for January 2021. I hope this video finds you well. I want to wish all of you a happy birthday who have a birthday coming up in January or February. This is a really big year for you in case you missed the memo. You have Jupiter and Saturn in your sign throughout most of the year. We just had a great conjunction in your sign on winter solstice on December 21st. So there is a lot of focus on your energy, what Aquarius brings to the table, and the way that this is going to be affecting you is like your journey. And I think that's kind of how I'm going to be approaching your reading for this month. And I'm actually going to be basing this spread off of the hero's journey for you specifically, because there is so much emphasis on you and your identity this year. And there could be a lot of lessons that you are encountering, a lot of hardship. And I don't want to kind of, I don't want you to feel like I'm cursing you or anything with this. I know 2020 was already a challenging year for a lot of people. And I think what this is making you do, Aquarius, is step into yourself. We did have, we are starting off this month with all of this Capricorn energy, which is your 12th house. The month before your birthday, astrologically, for those of you who are Capricorn or Aquarius sun people, it really is about reviewing and kind of taking stock of things before you set off on the next year. And there's a lot of looking at the ways that you might be sabotaging yourself or limiting yourself. And interestingly, the card that actually came out already is the Star card for you, which is your indicator card. This is your energy, Aquarius. As I was kind of shuffling the deck, tuning into all of you, this is the card that comes out. So it's just kind of confirming to me that this is going to be a really significant year for you. And I think this month is going to be the start of this journey. What is so funny is that the Star card actually came out again. This is the first card that comes out for you. This Star card is all about finding your way, listening to your intuition, finding healing. I feel like a lot of you have this destiny that you are walking towards, and I know that's a big word for a general reading, but we all come to this world for a reason. Our soul chose this specific incarnation very selectively. And I do feel like you are supposed to be following some sort of dream. There is a mission here for you, Aquarius, and this is kind of the call to adventure. The herald, so to speak. There is just this deep inner knowing that you're supposed to be doing something. You do have the 6 of Wands and the 7 of Cups, and this is showing up as your resiliency, and actually I'm interpreting this as adaptability. You are able to see things from many different perspectives this month, and I think that's going to be really, really helpful for you. There is so much divisiveness in the collective right now. There's a lot of people who are just so polarized. I feel like it's important for you to stay in your power this month and to be able to receive people where they're at. And again, paying attention to your dreams here with the 6 of Cups. You have the Two of Pentacles showing up as a challenge or an obstacle. There could be this shift that you feel like you need to make, or there's a lot that you're trying to weigh out. You're trying to figure out which path to go on, which decision to make. It's like you're at a crossroads this month, which is interesting because that is actually a word I use to describe 2021 in the astrology blog, which you can find linked down below. You're kind of weighing out your options here in the first part of this month. And with all of this energy in your 12th and 1st house, this could even be you figuring out, what do I identify with and what do I no longer believe is true? Or how am I changing? How is my identity shifting or transforming with this Two of Pentacles here? And some of you are actually going through a change or a shift. I will be honest, what you are actually going to be facing on this journey is the Three of Cups, which is kind of interesting because it's almost like you're realizing you have become what other people wanted you to become. And maybe that's why you are sorting through this Two of Pentacles energy. What is really me, and what is the expectations that have been placed on me? And that's kind of the plight of Aquarian energy. It's so group-centered, it's so group-focused, yet at the very same time, you are so much of an individual. You are an innovator. It's like you kind of have no choice but to be the black sheep, yet you still need to be in the flock, because what you offer is this mutation for the collective that helps us evolve. And instead of trying to conform, you're realizing that there's this thing you need to honor in yourself, and it's somehow shifting your relationship with other people. And it's shifting them as well. I almost feel like your fear is that you don't have anything to offer from the flock. You don't have any unique gifts, but I don't think that is true. You do have your ruling planet, Uranus, in the sign of Taurus. Which for you is your 4th house, who you are deep down. You might be looking at moving. You might be looking at healing your past, healing old wounds. You're changing the story of your life. Your 4th house is your roots. It's where you come from. It's why you are the way you are now. It's also your home. It's your upbringing. It's your ancestry. And there could actually be some conflict for you this month with your family. And that's causing this sort of crisis in your identity. And the transformation you are going through is the Two of Swords. Very interesting. I actually have to clarify this. Why is the Two of Swords here? The Two of Swords and the Three of Wands, there is this degree of patience. You are connecting to your intuition more. You're not just saying what people want to hear or doing what is expected of you. You're taking a pause. That is actually how you are transforming this month. And that makes a lot of sense, especially when we're in the Capricorn season, when we have this new moon in Capricorn on the 13th. We also have Venus in Capricorn, as well as the Sun and Pluto. There's a lot of transformation that's actually going to be happening for you internally this month. And it may or may not be visible to the people around you. Maybe it's not about making this big statement this month. It's about allowing this shift to take place. You feel something is changing for you with this Three of Wands. You just don't know what it is yet. And it's almost like you're supposed to go through this uncertainty. You're kind of supposed to wander through the dark. That's actually how you're going to find yourself. It's in the darkness of night that you're able to see the stars. And what is it that you bring back from this journey? What do you gain from this journey? Interesting, you have the Four of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. You are building something here. You are going to be setting a new foundation for yourself, and maybe even for other people in your life. There is this new information. You are going to be sharing information with people, and I think with the 10 of Wands, you are also letting go of burdens. You are letting go of these blockages or these things that you have taken on for yourself that are no longer true for you. This is really like a reset for you. And that's actually ironic because, again, this whole year is kind of a reset, 2021. And for you specifically, Aquarius, with this kind of being a very Aquarius heavy year, you yourself are going to be going through quite a bit of a reset. And I don't want to just lay this really heavy reading on you. I don't want you to kind of watch this and be like, oh my God, what am I watching right now? What is going to happen? I don't want you to freak out, but I do want you to be prepared. It's kind of like you're going through childbirth. You're birthing this new version of yourself, and there will be contractions. There may be some pain. It might be scary at times, and you should be aware of these things, but ultimately this beautiful new life is coming for you. And for those of you who are going through your Saturn return, in particular, this is really going to be representing this building, this new foundation that you are creating for yourself. There's going to be lessons. It's going to be work with the 10 of Wands, but it's going to make you stronger. I do want to pull an animal card here for you, Aquarius. Some of you could also be, with this Leo full moon at the end of the month, there could be this focus on relationships. You might be seeing the way that you've approached relationships. I'm almost feeling like there could be this sort of loss of sense of self. And there's a lot of transformation that you're doing this month with Frog and with the Sea Serpent. You're healing a lot of subconscious beliefs about yourself and a lot of the patterns that you come into relationships with and the way you show up in other people's lives. It's like you figuring out, who am I versus what is this mask, or what is the way I act around other people? What is me? What isn't me? There is so much emotional healing that is happening for you. Some of you might actually be taking a trip back home, quite literally. Or there's this thing with connecting to your roots with the frog. And even though you go through this transformation, you still return to the pond. You still return to this place that you've come from. Maybe that is even where this transformation takes place for you. And we were talking about that with the 4th house, with this Taurian energy that we are also going to be experiencing all throughout this year, there's going to be a lot of squares between Saturn and Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus, and there's also Mars in Taurus as well. There could be a lot of family conflict that you are going through this year, but it's actually helping you figure out where you really belong, who you really are, and you know what your lessons are here and what you're supposed to be offering on this planet at this time. This is a very, very profound journey that you're on, and it's not going to be a walk through the park. Again, I'm being very realistic with you. I'm being very candid, but there's a lot of emotional healing that you are doing. Some of you are specifically healing your sacral chakra, which is the second chakra. This rules over emotional expressions. It rules over creativity. Really getting into who you are emotionally. And again, I actually do connect this chakra with intimacy as well. A lot of people think of love as the heart chakra, and I do think that philanthropy is really accurate to what the heart chakra represents. But when we're talking about romantic love, an intimate relationship, it actually really is connected to the sacral chakra. So some of you could be healing the sacral energy, the Svadhisthana, and what's interesting is that actually translates as in her own abode. It's like you're coming home to yourself. There's all of this theme of home for you this month, which is also very, very interesting. And again, I think that's going to just be a theme for you all of this year. Even for the collective, we are ending December off with a Cancer full moon, which is about home, nostalgia, childhood. Maybe that's somehow coloring you as well. But again, there is this really deep reprogramming and reconnection with who you are. And it's almost like you're coming back to who you are. Because the Six of Wands is like this return from battle. Maybe you left for some time, and now you're coming back to yourself. Or you're realizing you abandoned yourself. And now there's this powerful reclamation. And again, you're transforming, you're becoming what you're really meant to be. And it's you exploring this new world, getting out of your element, but being able to return to that, being of two worlds. It's that black sheep energy that you have again. So this was kind of a big reading. It was a little bit different than the way I usually do this, Aquarius, but I do hope that this was helpful. It struck some chords with you. We are very much in your 12th house, in your subconscious, so I think we needed to just do something a little bit different for you, Aquarius. If you would like to look at some of the other readings, maybe there's something else there for you as well. If you want to look at your moon, rising, or Venus sign, or whichever video really draws in your attention, you're welcome to watch that. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below how this landed for you. This really did tell a bit of a story, and I think the story is really just beginning to unfold for you. I do have my solstice sale, my Yule sale on my website. All of my readings and Reiki sessions are 25% off until January 1st, and that ends at the end towards midnight at 11:59. So if you want to get a reading or Reiki session with me, that is a great time to do so. I will also be doing more sales in the future, so it never hurts to follow me on my other social media as well. I always post announcements when I'm offering something special like that, and all of that information is linked down below. And I will see you in the next video, Aquarius. I'm wishing you a happy birthday, happy new year, and I hope January is a beautiful month for you. I hope this transformation really catalyzes you and it helps you connect to who you are meant to be in this life. And I am wishing you all the best. Take care. Hey Pisces, this is Michael with your reading for January 2021. We're going to be using tarot and astrology to figure out what sort of month you're going to be having, how 2020 is going to set the tone for you, how this new year is going to start unfolding. I am really curious to see what we have in store for you, especially for those of you who have a birthday coming up as well, for my Pisces sun people. Whenever we are about to have a birthday, like the month beforehand, there's a lot of review. There's a lot of soul searching that we do. It's almost like we're taking stock of our lives, of ourselves, before going into this next year. And we have a lot of energy in the sign of Aquarius, which is actually going to be your 12th house, your subconscious. This is sort of that reflection, this meditation that we've been talking about. And there really is this focus on your subconscious this month. And it's interesting, Pisces, because you do rule over the 12th house naturally. Even though for your chart, your 12th house ruler is Aquarius, you naturally are the ruler of the 12th house. And what is the 12th house? It's this unknown. It's the ocean. It's the depths we haven't yet explored. As humans, we know more about our solar system than we do about our own oceans. And there is going to be a lot of deep dives, I think, for you, especially towards the end of the month. Although we already had this great conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn on winter solstice on December 21st in the sign of Aquarius. And this next year is really going to be focusing on this sort of dream world, on the subconscious, on the ways that you might be sabotaging yourselves. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you watching this video right now are kind of going through a hard time with the cards that I'm pulling. You have the Three of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and you also have the Moon, the Emperor, and the Fire of Wands all showing up together. Interesting. I think some of you might be in the situation where you feel controlled or powerless. Specifically, it could be a fire sign, especially an Aries with this Emperor energy. Could also be Leo or Sagittarius. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius with this Father of Wands. For others of you, this may not even be a person who is physically in your life. It could also just be representing conditioning that you carry from your early childhood or relationships from the past that are affecting the way you're living your life now. To be honest, Pisces, I almost feel like there's this theme for this month where you're seeing a wound you didn't even know was there. With the Three of Swords and the Seven of Wands, it could also be that there is someone you need to be very, very guarded with or very cautious around. Because when I see the Three of Swords and I see the Seven of Swords, it makes me think there is someone who backstabbed you. This might have already happened though, and maybe this is even talking about the distant past. You're going to have to use your own discernment and figure out how this applies. And with the Moon card, it's like something is being kept in the dark. Something is being kept mysterious for you right now. You might not even see this clearly. We do have Mercury going retrograde towards the end of the month. Again, that is actually in your 12th house. So that's really, really interesting. But we are going to be in that pre-shadow phase through the second half of January with Mercury kind of slowing down in the sign of Aquarius before it starts moving backwards. And there could be miscommunication or misinformation. I do feel like someone might actually be lying to you, or you're realizing that someone is lying to you, or you just have this intuition that someone is not being totally forthcoming, and it feels like this fire sign energy, or someone who's being very controlling. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Kind of a heavy energy so far. We do also have a lot of energy moving through your 11th house with all of this Capricorn energy as well, which is talking about friends, social networks. There could be someone around you in that realm who you need to be watchful of. And really, someone could actually be watching you on social media or communicating with you on social media, but it could even be sort of like keeping tabs on you, almost like a little bit of a stalker or like cyber stalking. That's interesting. And it's like this person's trying to control you. Let's kind of clarify this energy a little bit more. Okay, yeah, you do need to be careful with the Tower card here. And I'm giving this message to you as a warning, okay? I'm just gonna say that. You really need to trust your intuition here. If you feel like someone does not have your best interest at heart, really honor that and listen to that. And use your discernment here. This message may not be for you, okay? But again, I do have Aries energy. So if some of you are connecting with an Aries individual, or someone who has a lot of Aries placement, that could be someone that you need to watch out for. Because there's this sense of destruction. Interesting. I do feel like this Tower is avoidable. I feel like this destruction or this negative event is avoidable for you, but you really do need to pay attention to your intuition. There is the potential for a lot of conflict as well. This month we have a couple of T-squares. I am actually thinking specifically towards the end of the month around the Leo full moon. And I do feel like this is a friend for some of you, specifically. I don't actually get the sense of it being a lover. Could potentially be a family member. I could see that. Or even someone who is a coworker or who has some sort of power over you. It could literally be a boss or something like that. You do have the Mother of Swords and the Magician, however. And the Six of Pentacles with the Four of Swords. I do feel like there is help for you, even if you do find yourself in a bad situation towards the end of the month. Could be an air sign who is helping you, that is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Especially Gemini energy, actually, with this Magician, or could be a Virgo as well. Actually, Virgo energy makes a lot of sense with the Mother of Swords as well. So it could be a Gemini or Virgo who is helping you in a situation. I wonder if someone is actually financially exploiting you and puts you in a tight spot. I'm just going to be really honest. You know, it's kind of the cliche thing. With this Mercury retrograde, be very cautious about signing leases. I mean, you still have to live your life. But if there's like paperwork that you have to fill out, definitely read the fine print, you know, really look through all of these documents, because there could be something that kind of screws you over, especially if this is someone who has some sort of authority over you, who is making you sign this. But there really is this energy, again, of kind of a con artist or someone being deceptive with you, even with this Magician energy. And you really need to listen to your intuition. And if you're feeling disconnected from your intuition, if you're feeling really cloudy, it's important for you to meditate and also take care of yourself, eat healthfully. Especially around this full moon, because that is actually the house of health and wellness for you. Because if you're not seeing something clearly, if you're feeling really foggy, there's something that could happen that could have been avoidable. And it feels like, again, it's involving another person. I kind of want to clarify this energy. Then we're going to pull some animal oracle cards here. The Six of Wands. This could actually be someone coming back from the past. And maybe this is this thing with this contract. Maybe there's something from the past coming back to bite you in the you-know-what. Or there's just this energy of something coming back that you should just be very aware of. And that's kind of the cliche Mercury retrograde thing too. And you might not know that this is going to happen to you until a couple of months from now. I am feeling that intuitively. You might not even know until February, the end of February, if you were kind of swept up in this sort of deception or this mind game or power play. The Ace of Wands. This could be someone, you do have some sort of passionate connection, actually. If this is talking about an ex for some of you, and someone is trying to reconcile with you, I would not trust this person. I think they're going to kind of just come up into your life and then leave. It almost feels like a sexual thing, to be completely honest. And someone might be playing these mind games with you. And you are seeing that now. You're seeing how you might be manipulated by this person. And that's hard. And I do feel like by the end of the month, you really do need to focus on healing. Sorry about that, Pisces. My battery actually died, and I realized as I was kind of charging it or replacing it here, I noticed a card actually fell out. Literally something that slipped my own attention, which seems very appropriate to the reading. You actually have this Three of Cups here as well, which could be talking about, again, a friendship. There could be this loose acquaintance or something as well. If this is sort of a romantic situation with this person kind of coming into your life or someone you're interested in, I do feel like they could be playing games with you. And especially if this is a person you don't have a defined relationship with. Like, this isn't your boyfriend, this isn't your girlfriend. This is somebody who is sort of like someone you're loosely seeing or not having a defined relationship with someone. There could actually be an affair as well. I almost wonder, Pisces, if you are involved with someone and you could be a third person and not realizing it, or if you do know that this is a situation you're in, the other person could be finding out. I'm just letting you know because there is this Tower card energy. And again, just telling it like it is. I'm not trying to judge any of you or imply anything. I'm just the messenger here. But I do feel like that was important. There's always a reason for these things. The battery died for a reason, kind of unexpectedly, to be totally honest with you. I do want to pull just a couple of more cards before we finish up here. I'm going to be pulling some animal cards. And again, I think it's just really important to be watchful here with this hawk. You know, make sure you're looking at every little detail here. There is something that could be quite unexpected that happens. You know, you might need to be taking a higher perspective. You might need to be meditating a lot with this Swan card here. And really meditating. Again, this is such this 12th house energy, this subconscious, this reflection, listening to your intuition. And this is a really, really specific message, but something that's also coming to mind as well. You might be in a situation where you believe someone you have just met, or someone you are involved with, or someone who's coming into your life is a twin flame. I do feel like if this is a message you are hearing, this person might actually be a false flame, so to speak. This is not actually someone you are supposed to be with. This is about a lesson that you are supposed to learn. And it could be involving another party as well, whether you are aware of this or not. I'm just kind of throwing that out there here. And if you're not sure if this is your situation, there's no harm in taking your time. I'm not going to tell you to be just super suspicious of anyone who's coming into your life this month, but just take it slow. Make sure that you're meditating, maybe even journaling, whatever sort of practice can help you see yourself clearly, connect to your intuition. I do feel like it's important for you to take time to yourself as well. I know that swans can actually be quite aggressive and territorial, so there might be this aggressive or territorial energy around you this month as well that you're just supposed to be distancing yourself from. And what's interesting with the hawk is, again, there is this element of unexpected change. You might be getting news, or your plans could be changing in a very interesting or unexpected way. Be sure to pay attention to your intuition and dreams as well. That could be how information is coming to you, especially in the second half of this month. Those are all the messages I have for you for real now this time, Pisces. I do hope this was helpful for somebody. I hope someone needed to hear this. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what's going on. If you don't feel like this reading was meant for you, that's totally fine. These are general readings. I always set the intention to reach the people who need to hear them the most. If this just doesn't apply to your situation, you are more than welcome to look through the timestamps and figure out which video is drawing you in. That could be for your moon, rising, Venus sign. Doesn't even have to be any of those. I do have a 25% off sale on my website until January 1st at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch that Yule sale, get a reading or a Reiki session for the start of this year, that is available for you as well. And I will see you all in the next video. I'm wishing you a happy January, Pisces. Whatever this situation is, I hope you're aware of it. I hope you're taking this time to just reflect and really, find this enrichment here with the swan. There's a lot of mysticism and a lot of beauty here if you can look for it. I am wishing you many blessings for this year as well, and I will see you all next time. Take care.